Another man done gone. Another man done gone from the county from another.
It's Jax.
man done
What up,
gone.
Dollars? Let's go.
Martin Luther had a dream, but Freddy Krueger had a Ruger. Ex-Malcolm out the picture, so now we back to the future. Now we back to these losers embracing death like they used to. Poking out they chest, but listen, son, now you leaking that future. So who's the shooter? Is it your man? Or was it a fan? Or was it a stand? I would beg to differ. In hindsight, I bet you he say he was not a nigga. Plus Biggie Smalls was just minding his business, yo. Smoking an Optimo. Somebody got to drop the homie Biggie has got to go. And they couldn't stop it, no, I wish that they could. Yeah, the world needs change, but man, I wish that we would. So why the long frown? A man harmed from a 4 pound. His blood ripples on the floor from the war sound. His mama sitting at the wake, hoping the Lord's found. Another dead, another gone now. Damn.
Another man done gone. Another man done gone from the county from another man
Shit.
done gone.
George Eliot said that it's best to be what you wanna be. Fucking do what you wanna do, so I do what I wanna do. Bet you did it to floss. Bitch, I did what I wanted. Bet you did it and lost. Bitch, I did it and won it. Shit, I'm never coming back. Listen, I just wanna rap. Gee, I told you all of that. On about a dozen tracks. I don't give a fuck. I just wanna rap. Spitting fire on this track like a fucking Thundercat. Plus this mic is bleeding rojo. This shit is a no-no. Rolling in that low-low. Plus I'm from that Baltimore. Need a folk, smoking on my logo. Ready for the wall, and we so silly with the flow. Somebody got a ropo. Heard the lanes, and I swear they so too much love for the fame just to go broke. You said think I had the rap game in the chokehold. Never think I got the whole world in a rope. Gotta think, damn dog, you crazy. Is he the next Jay-Z? My crystal ball is hazy, but I don't know, maybe.
Welcome back to the Insanity Check Podcast. It's your host, Chris here. And as always, I have another special guest joining me. Really not a stranger to the MTR network anymore. I have the lovely doctor joining me. How are you doing, ma'am?
You call me a special guest. That's cute.
I know.
I'm fine. How are you?
You know what? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Deepalm does every now and then when he like introduced me on like unanimous decision. He's like, I have a special guest. You might have heard of him. It's so funny. I was thinking about. I was prepping for the show. I was like, oh yeah, people will know you from Super Tuesday, and I was like, wait a minute, no, Super Tuesday. Then there's like the nostalgia reviews you've been on. I think you haven't done a comic book club with us yet, but you now have the Doctor Who retrospective show that's on. It's like you're kind of turning into Deepalm here, where you got a lot of extra shows on the network.
And I don't know if I did tell you this. Maybe it was I wrote Rod and Karen about this. I've been listening to you for almost 10 years now.
Are you serious?
Yes. You and Rod and the folks over at Where's My 40 Acres, I've been listening to you guys since 2008, 2009, yeah.
Oh God, you are one of the originals. You've been through all the host chains, where there's me and Rice and a USB sharing a USB mic. Like I don't think, because I don't even have those shows up anymore, so I don't think people understand when I say, listen, you can grow a lot in 10 years. Like, we had a USB mic sharing it on, like, a TV tray in the living room of the place I was living. And we would just sit there, nowhere near the microphones. It would go in and out. I think the first guest we ever had was Jax, and we literally interviewed him by having him on speakerphone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Thank you for being a long-time listener and supporter, and now... huge contribution. Docu-Drunks. That's another show you're on. You're doing with us that everybody really, really loves, and you guys just crank them out. And you guys have been really making the network great again.
Oh God damn it! Don't you and Jennifer, stop it.
I'm sorry, I had to do it. Like, just your reaction to her make Daxam great again ideas have just been amazing.
Oh. Let the record show I protest that whole concept. Between then and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. dropping.
Oh no, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. dropped this week with Darth. I was calling him Darth Fitz until he said that. And I was like, oh my God, he might be Trump Fitz. This is amazing. But no, oh man, yeah, that is wow. That takes me back. It's I always forget how long I've been doing this.
I was listening to an episode of you guys and I think it was the first time Rod hosted because he was asking me a podcast equipment. I almost died listening to that episode. I was attacked by a goose and knocked into a pond off my bike.
Oh my God! I think I remember you telling me about this though. I think I remember this. Hey
I
yo,
almost
hey,
died.
geese are actually terrorists. They are the
Mm.
terrorists of the bird universe, and yes, geese do
It's
not
to the
fuck with
point
geese.
where I don't trust a bird bigger than a robin. I was walking the other day and there was these birds that kind of looked like vultures, and there were three of them, and they were eyeing me and they were huge. Added 2 miles to my walk. I turned around, backtracked, and a 2 mile walk became a 4 mile walk because I refused to walk past them. I don't trust big birds.
Well, I mean, you know, Dumbo told me that, made me believe that, crows are racist. So I just, you get them while you're young. I just believe that's just true. I see a crow, I'm just like, oh, you're a racist bird.
They really are.
Yeah,
They scratched my car.
yeah. I mean, crows are racist. I just, yeah. They call when you get a group and they're a murderer. It's like there's nothing good about crows.
You're right. A group is called a murder. You're right. Oh my God.
Yeah, a bunch of crows is called a murder. Like you don't. Those are birds you don't fuck with. I mean, I just like I don't understand. Like, yeah, like whenever anytime somebody talks about like killing something, it's like we gotta wipe them out, and it's always something like deer. There's too many fucking deer. We gotta wipe out the deer, and it's like yeah, but what about the crows?
Right.
What about the crows? Like they're the true like terrorists of the bird universe and shit of just the animal universe to begin with. So I think we can all deal with not having more crows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
They need to go.
yeah, I'm just saying. Anytime you call a group of them a murder. This just I don't know why we're here. I don't know why.
Discussion.
Yeah, I don't know why we're. What are we doing? Why are we? But yeah, it's always funny when I think about how long I've been doing podcasting. I always tend to think about it only a few years, going back to when I changed over to movie trailer reviews, because I feel like that's when I really started kind of taking it more seriously. But there was like I think we were the Insanity Report for way longer than we've been movie trailer reviews. We might be coming up on about being 50-50 right now, but for the longest time, movie trailer reviews was new, and Insanity Report was, yeah, there was a lot going on there.
To the point where you got so sick of politics, like I'm not talking about this no more.
Yeah, no, I did. I had to stop, and I'm trying to figure out how long I'm going to last under Trump before I have to do that too, because it's just, yeah, like we started, yeah.
It's gonna last under Trump.
Yeah, that's a valid point there.
God damn it! Can he at least wait till we get to see Black Panther? Come on now.
Like I saw that they were talking about well, he's not it's still on the option of if North Korea has a nuclear test that he can do a preemptive strike. I'm like, motherfucker, no, no, you can't do that.
North Korea does this every year.
Right.
Every year they do this. What is he doing? You had mentioned on Twitter that you felt like he was illiterate.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I feel like we're dealing with, and this sounds terrible, please don't be offended, people. Some level of dementia, some level of Alzheimer's. You can't convince me Reagan wasn't in the beginning throes of Alzheimer's during his presidency. I'm just, you just can't. I refuse to believe that. No one can be this stupid, right?
Well, when you're rich and white, yes.
I guess you're right.
Yeah. No, I'm 100% on. Like, I might get shirts made. Donald Trump can't read. Like, I am 100%. On board. Hey, look, I feel like remember Donald Trump for years ran with the birther conspiracy against President Obama, and he had zero evidence of that. Right. I feel like we have way more evidence that Donald Trump can't read, from people on SNL saying that he struggled to read the scripts, to just the fact that you've never seen him actually do a good job reading anything.
No.
Like when he reads, like watch him when he tries to read a prepared speech. There's a reason why during the whole campaign, the whole thing was they couldn't get him to read a prepared speech.
Yeah.
And the reason why he can't read a prepared speech is he couldn't memorize it, and he's not good at it.
The last time I watched him do a prepared teleprompter speech, because I refused to watch the State of the Union with him, because that's an hour too much, was when he did the joint press conference with Justin Trudeau. Yeah. And that's because I will watch Justin Trudeau talk in English and French any day of the week. And it was just like, you could tell he was reading and you could tell he was struggling. And it was, I don't want to call it heartbreaking because I will never feel sorry for him.
Mm-hmm.
But it was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard to watch.
I honestly I believe that we need to, as like, if you want to talk about the resistance, and I know, not to take away from the social and civic aspects that we need to go on. There's also another component to this, and we know that there are certain things that Donald Trump, his ego cannot take. I'm telling you, if you want to get under his skin, we need to make this Donald Trump is functionally illiterate go viral. And if it does, and that becomes something that it will drive him crazy.
Oh yeah.
It will. I hate to say it, but that's the kind of person he is. And I think it's true. I think when you look at what he can do and think about it, as a rich white person, why would he need to know how to read? Like I honestly, not only that, but I also think the other part of this is, I don't think he's been really running his business for years now. I think it's been Ivanka. I think it's been Jared. I think it's been Donald Trump Jr. I think it's been his kids. I think it's been everybody else but Donald Trump. I don't think he's actually been running his business. You cannot show me where Donald Trump has actually done any of these things. He has intermediaries. He has other people that go and do these things for him. I have not shown anyone show me any proof that anything Donald Trump does himself alone has been successful.
That's a good point.
So yeah, we'll save the Donald Trump stuff for a little bit later. But the whole thing about wanting to make it to Black Panther, I mean, that is 100% true. First,
Come on, we got a black ass cast,
and
black ass movie. Come on.
And I saw some people getting mad at a tweet about this, but it's true. It's a dark skin black cast, which, like, I wish on Twitter people would just say they don't like they don't like the messenger, versus that the message is stupid, they don't know where it's coming from. Cause I want you guys, if you had a problem with that tweet, to go out and come back and tell me, do your research and find me a big budget movie with a mostly, like, predominantly black cast that is dark skinned.
Wait, okay, so what tweet? Because I've been playing insane amounts of.
Oh no, Jamila from I don't know where she's at now, but she used to be the editor of Ebony. Says something about she was like, I take joy in the fact that I haven't seen a light skinned person cast for this. Like that means a lot, and people were, and for most part, everybody was getting the first day. Everybody understood what she meant on that one, but then eventually, people start going, why would you take pride in that? What are you trying to say? Are you saying that light-skinned people aren't black people now too? And it's just like, you guys are idiots. Stop doing that. That's not what we do here. Like, come on. Like, you know exactly what she means here. That, I mean, we literally, like, people are saying this, like, literally, the last week I've seen 2 different stories about little dark-skinned black girls talking about how they learned to be proud of their black skin because others used to make fun of them because they were dark skinned. Like, don't sit here and try to act like the colorism isn't real and that there isn't a certain level of beauty standards put on women with lighter skin when they're black. Like, you see all these stories about like in Cuba and other places where they're now selling skin lightening products to lighten your skin so you don't look as dark. We have the whole Sammy Sosa thing where Sammy Sosa really did the Michael Jackson where he didn't have a disease, but he literally whitened his fucking skin. And like Sammy Sosa, it was just ridiculous. Like, he literally looked like one of the Wayans brothers in White Chicks. It was completely freaky. So don't sit here and act like you don't know where the basis on that tweet is. Just say you don't like the person making it, but don't act like you're like, oh, no, that's not true. Yeah, it's fucking true. Like, and not just dark-skinned black people, dark-skinned black women. Let's be specific here, because like dark-skinned black men, we're usually okay. We usually get cast, but dark-skinned black women in a big budget film. Like, it's gonna have, I don't know what the budget on Black Panther is yet, but it's probably at least 120, more like $150 million. Come on.
You know what's interesting too is that even people who profess to be aware of the issue, it's still like they're trying to go by the whole paper bag test in terms of, well, if you're this shade and getting cast, and it's more of the same. It's like, what? I don't know.
It's a very weird thing. So, but yes, we need to survive Trump at least until Black Panther. I want to go longer than that, but as we get Black Panther, I'll at least be able to, I'll at least be able to sit on my front stoop and watch the nuclear holocaust in peace from there.
We're gonna baby step.
Yeah, baby steps. I'm trying to make it one. Well, I'm trying to make it one MCU movie at a time. Like I just want to make it to Black Panther. Then after Black Panther, then we can make it maybe to Captain Marvel, and then maybe I can get greedy and go to Phase 4. Like one Marvel phase at a time. I'm trying to get there. Justin from Three Fifths Podcast made a good point. He was like, "Yo, anybody else interested in the Andromeda Initiative right now? For anybody playing Mass Effect?"
Well, Aaron Rand Freeman said that, it's, and it didn't hit me until he said it, that when you play that game, there are very few American white people there. There's some British white folks, but very few American white folks. And I said, look, all the folks of color said, y'all can have this shit. We're out of here. Got on the ship and left.
Look,
and I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that.
Look, I know, we don't talk gaming on here, but I know you play it. And so I didn't put it in the list of show topics, but I knew I was going to talk about this. Listen, I love the fuck out of this game. Like, I am doing all the side quests just not to move the story forward because I'm having too much fun because the game is so black and brown. It's amazing. Like, just from main characters, side characters, like, even like you said, even the white people you meet all have British accents. Like, there's no American accent white people. Like, and right, and it's just like, I'm sorry, like, that's an amazing game, and I've heard people's complaints, and I saw their early reviews, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I think they're all bullshit. Like, I love the fuck out of this game.
Here's the thing. I feel like BioWare took what really worked from Inquisition and what really worked from Mass Effect and blended it, because Inquisition was very much open world. And I know a lot of people struggled with that. I loved it because I loved the lore and the story behind Inquisition through the whole Dragon Age series.
Right.
And I won't lie, I was so used to Mass Effect being kind of this structured shooter RPG that when I got to Habitat 7, I'm like, what am I doing? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I have to do that?
Right.
It was a shift. It was a serious shift. I was like, I can do this. So I finished one playthrough before the patch. But so I'm on my second playthrough.
Good. Man, I can't even say anything. I kind of want to do the same thing. I kind of want to rush and finish it now, and then go back and then take my even more time to play it, because I feel like there's so many different ways of playing this game, and like I'm very like, it is such a great game. I don't know the people that complain about it still. I'm like I don't get it, man. This is, like you said, the last two Mass Effect games really became structured shooters. Not bad. Nothing wrong with that. They were great, but the first Mass Effect game was trying to be what Andromeda ended up becoming, right?
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
an exploring game. You do all kinds of crazy. You do all this stuff. Like you said, I think it was you, or it was a thread that you guys were talking about where there's a Columbusing aspect to this game, but they seem to be aware of it.
Yes,
and
very much so.
Right. So your character, because at one point they asked me, it's like, hey, we should have an outpost here, and I was like, well, listen, this is their world, and if they want us to, we can, but we just can't take over their shit. So yeah, like, no, some of the conversations are like that though, and like, there's one time like there's like a human on the station like, yeah, I'm not really sure about all these aliens. I was like, well, this is their universe, and we are here to guess.
We're the aliens.
Maybe we should talk to them and figure out what's going on. I'm finally now talking to Liam, the black guy, and I said white guy, but
he is. He's
he
a
is,
dude, bro.
yes.
He's such a dude, bro.
He is the black dude, bro. He is the black nerd dude, bro, to me. Well, why can't we just? I think we should all just get together and it's fine. Bro, and I'm just like, oh my god, you are what the fuck? Like, it is so good. Like, he's problematic, but he's the right kind of problematic. Like,
so here's the thing I can tell you. You can do all the loyalty missions. Unlike the old games where the loyalty missions were structured through the different acts, you can do all them loyalty missions without pushing the story forward. Have you done Liam's loyalty mission yet?
I haven't finished it yet. No.
Oh my god.
I think I'm already like near. I'm getting ready to start it because he was so off-putting to me. I was like, nah, bro, we ain't the same. Like you like all the like all skin all skin folk and kin folk. Like it was one of those type deals with me because my character black as fuck, right? So I'm like, I'm not really cool with Liam, so I've been hanging with everybody else. So I was like, all right, man, let me finally start talking to Liam. So I'm starting talking to him, and it first started with him in Jaw, and they were basically like naked, and they were doing switching, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like my character's reaction, just like, what the fuck's going on here? The fuck are you doing? And like, I was just like, I can see where this loyalty mission is going, and this is going to be very interesting. So I've been putting him off. But no, it's like I said, but the like I heard when the reviews first came out, they were saying that the oh well, the side characters aren't as interesting as the original cast and Mass Effect 2 and 3, and I'm like, oh bullshit. Because if you get the right pairing in like the Nomad when you're going around the planet, they say some of the most awkward and weird shit. Like if you put Cora, who is a white human woman, but she used to work with the Asari, and you put her with the other Asari you have in there, and I don't know if you got this, but Cora's basically hitting her with the white feminism. Like, but why don't you care about this? These are your people, and I'm just like, how about you fall back, Cora? Because that is.
And because PB is on, and if you put, I forget who she's with when she says this, PB is only 100 years old, and her father was an Elcor. Mm-hmm. So understanding that makes PB make sense. But I did get that one. But if you put Jaw and Liam in there, you get Jaw reads Liam for filth, basically. He reads him for filth, and it is so beautiful.
Like, it is just. Oh man, like I want to put I haven't done this yet, but I've seen them on the plan together before. I want to put the Krogan Drac and Vetra the Tyrion together, because the first time you get down to what planet is it? The Outpost? The first time you get down there, they hop off the plane. They're like, yeah, we're gonna go. We have some stuff to kind of buy.
Oh, Kadara.
Yeah, they're like, they're basically doing an illegal deal.
I have them in the Nomad right now. I was playing right before we started, and I love the two of them together because they're the most unlikely lovable pair together. Yes. Because if you know the Turians, you know the Krogan, you would think like, oh, this ain't gonna go well. They are so cute together. Mm-hmm. It's so much fun to hear talking to each other.
I also love what they did with the Krogan. Like the Krogan now, they don't all sound the same, and they're all not all like hard, tough, warriors. You have different personality in the Krogan. Like the first time I heard the Krogan speak, I was like, wait, that's a Krogan? Because that sounds just like okay. And
Solarian.
Yeah, they have smart ones. They have ones that are scientists. The one where you rescue, the one where you get get the seeds back. It's Drac. It's one of the Drac's loyalty mission. Yeah, and you find out like he's like in love with Drax's needs or something like that. Like it is it is so adorable and just awkward, and it's just there's so much more personality there. Like I am loving the fuck out of this game. I'm sorry, like it is everything I thought.
It's great. It's the first Mass Effect game I bought when it launched. The others, like I don't know what it was. My son did a trial of Mass Effect 3, and I was confused because I hadn't played the others. I'm like, I don't know if you remember the trial for Mass Effect 3, but it was the mission where they were going for Eve.
Oh.
On Sarkesh. And I played it. I was like, I don't know what's going on. So I didn't think anything of it. But then I heard you, and then I heard Elon over at Twib talking about Mass Effect. I'm like, okay, let me give this a shot. So I started 1. I was like, clunky, but I'm enjoying this. And so then I played 2, and then I played 3, and I'm like, I like this series.
Yeah, no, this is great. I mean, so for we talked all this, so we can give the how this tied in the Trump thing. Basically, what they did was there's humans and a bunch of other groups. They created these arcs, and they were going to go finding other planets to, like we said, Columbusing, finding other planets and other galaxies to explore and to colonize and to live in, and for varying different reasons. And they travel for 600 years. They get to the Andromeda galaxy, and shit does not go well when they first come out. And things have gone terribly wrong, and you have to go and find the other arcs. You have to defeat these enemies who are trying to Like the enemies are very very interesting right now, and it's a really intriguing game. It doesn't really pick up until I would say you get to your second planet, Eos, because when you're the beginning of the game is really just a tutorial. Like those first 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, I think are just a tutorial getting understanding. I think that's what happened with the reviews. They basically played the tutorial and didn't understand that. Oh, they were like, "Whoa, I don't understand what's going on." I'm like, "Oh no! Once you get past that and you found your first outpost, then you understand what's going on here, and it becomes so much. Like you literally, yeah, it's just great."
I'm going to argue that though. You know that this is 600 years post the mass. These folks took off right around the end of Mass Effect 2, but before the start of Mass Effect 3, right? That's what we know. You know that the point is, because if you read the intro scroll, that you guys have traveled 600 years to these worlds that you investigated 600 years prior. And then when you land, you realize, well, hell, a lot of shit can happen in 600 years. This is what we heard. So now we need to figure out what to do, because we got all these hundreds of thousands of people from different species coming with no place to put them. I don't know that you have to get past the 2-hour tutorial to understand that that's the point of the game. I think there's a few things. I think you have people who want to consistently say, and it's been the backlash we've seen in our society, in comic books, and now in gaming, like, oh my gosh, there aren't enough white people represented. I was like, we're tired of you, that's why. But then you have the fact that it's not a point and shoot. People were used to the structured shooters that Mass Effect 2 and 3 gave them. Me personally, I like a good storyline, and I don't mind open exploration if you've got a good storyline with it. But some people don't have the patience for that. One of my kids tried to play. He's like, it seems like fun. You're having fun, but it's overwhelming. And I get that. Just to own up that it doesn't represent you and that bothers you or is overwhelming, because it can be. But don't sit up there and say it's not a good game. It's just not for you, and that's okay.
Oh, no, I 100% agree. Like, again, like I knew kind of what I was getting. Like, I think they, when they said they were doing Andromeda and they came out and told you this is not a continuation or connected to Shepard's story, that should have been the clue for people right then. But I don't think people believed them. And so I think people were just like, oh, okay, well, whatever, you're still going to have. But no, they were like, no, it's 600 years later on, and it's not really connected. You'll have some ties here and there, but it's completely different experience. And yeah, it is. Like,
and
even
there's some shout outs to the Mass Effect original trilogy. There's pieces that are going to come up that you're going to find later on. When they're fighting, Jarl says a saying that Garrus used to say all the time when you kill someone. I mean, there's different homages to it, but they told you it was going to be a different game. I think what happened, though, do you remember the original teaser that had Shepard signing off? Yeah. I think people saw that and just assumed, yeah, they probably just put a clone of Shepard in there. I was like, no, they told you Shepard's story was done. Right. Believe them. It's done. And that's okay.
Yeah, it's a completely different story. It's like you said, it's more exploration. But even once the fighting does get started, it's
okay.
It is. Yeah.
And shooters, I'm a stormtrooper when it comes to shooter games. So I'm just shooting. I'm running out of bullets. I'm like, okay, where's the reload? Where's the reload? And it's still 50 people coming at me, even though I done shot about 500 bullets, because I suck at that part of it. It's a lot. I feel like the firefighting is a lot more complicated and engaging, I think. But again, I'm a stormtrooper when it comes to shooters. So
it is like like I've learned to now stop using, because now I took out a Remnant Architect last night, and the first time I did it, it was like 20 minutes. Right, it's this long, grueling battle, and I took the one out that was out on the ice planet, which is even worse because you're literally out in, like, I didn't realize this, but it's like you're at level 2 hazard in that area. So you have to keep going inside to warm up before you. Man, I took that Architect down like half the time. And then what I realized was, it was like, oh, wait. My character right now is set up more for biotic battles, using powers, than using. So I would just throw out like a singularity and then keep hitting them and doing biotic detonations. Oh, man, I took the thing down in like 10 minutes. It was like, no sweat. That was easy. I was like, I should have been doing this all the entire time. Like, there are so many different ways to approach things from battles, and there's puzzles in there when you have to it's all puzzling monoliths, and there are different ways of doing this. Like, it's not easy. It's not something you can just do. Like, one time I was trying to go through one of the vaults. I was like, oh, I'll do it real quick. It's late at night, and I'm tired. And I was like, I can't do this right now. It required too much thinking, because I was like, I had to get across this water that was electrified, and I was like, okay. And I kept trying to hit the right panels and I was like, okay, this is way too complicated right now. I can't do this. I need to actually clear my mind and think about this, sit up and pay attention and think about this. No, it's a really intriguing and engaging game, and I'm really excited to see to finish this first and then to see what comes next, because I think, again, there are bugs. You know, I know there was a thing with the animation and things like that, but to me, it was never enough to like say, fuck this game. I think they'll improve on it, but no, I think it's an amazing game, and I highly recommend people out there to go try it. And it's just I love the stories, like just sitting around talking to different people. Like, there was one time
side conversations.
Yeah, like like you find out side conversation. You have your two pilots, right?
And Callow and Suvi. Yes.
Yeah, Callow and Suvi, and at one point early in the game, Suvi's making fun of Callow because he keeps going on to the Nexus, and spending all his money on this woman, and then you later find out who the woman is, and you're like, that's kind of fucked. That's more fucked up than like you think he's just spending money on, like, you know, some woman who's, you know, he's trying to woo or something like that. But it's a much nobler thing. And I found out last night. I was like, he's kind of a good guy. Oh, damn. Okay. And that's not a conversation you have yourself. It's a conversation you hear between the two of them as you go through the game, you know? So yeah, it's just really, really, really cool.
They put so much thought into it. I'm loving it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in my first playthrough, I made it to 92%, and I realized why after they patched it. Some of the tasks, there's one task that you don't get kind of the indicators to go in a certain direction. So you know how some of the tasks, they give you an indicator to go in a certain direction, and you have to search around. The patch fixed that because some of them weren't triggering, so I wound up not finishing to 100% because of that.
Got you.
So I'm going to try on this playthrough to go through to 100%, so it's taking me longer.
Yeah, I gotta... I also started doing. I did one playthrough on the multiplayer. Like, so the first time I played multiplayer, it was I got kicked out. So the second time I was like, all right, let me try one more time, because they have these, just like the last Mass Effect game, where it's kind of like you can either send strike groups out, or you can play the mission yourself, and it's kind of like the game of War, Gears of War Horde mode, where it's just you and like three or four other I think it's 4 other players, and you're like fighting a horde of enemies that come in for, I think, 6 or 7 waves. I can't remember how many waves it is. It might be 8 waves. And they give you, sometimes it just destroy all the enemies. Sometimes they give you, like, you have to hack this thing. And I think the final mission is always to extract and hold off until you get extracted out. And so I played the second time. I was like, all right, let me see how this goes. So the first time didn't go too well. Started playing. I got addicted to that too. Like, that becomes fun as well. Like, there's just so much in this game, and it's done really well. You talk to all these characters. Like, you get interviewed by this one, sorry, and then she's the one that makes a move. Like, I never flirted with her. She's basically hits me up on some, listen, I don't really care if you're with anybody, but we can just do something on the side if you want. And I'm just like, are we serious right now? Is this what we're doing?
Maybe does the same thing.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm like, but you know what? At first it threw me off, and I was like, that makes sense. Like, I'm actually thinking that maybe next game, what they make it is, so you can actually date 2 different people. Because why not? Like, the other reason why, like, I've never gotten, I get the BioWare hate, and I understand that there are some technical reasons why people don't like some of the things BioWare does. But I think we also need to understand that BioWare is also one of those companies, gaming companies, that goes out of its way to make sure to be inclusive and listen to diverse communities. I haven't talked to Terry yet, but apparently there was an issue with one of the transgender characters in the game. And
Haley, she's on EOS. Yep. Yeah. She gives you a quest, actually.
Yeah. And so the transgender community was like, they didn't like the dialogue on it. And BioWare was like, we heard you. And in this patch, we updated the dialogue to make it better. You know, it wasn't on some, fuck you guys. You guys got to deal. We're on your side. You know, the typical response you usually hear to that kind of criticism. BioWare was like, oh, no, you know what? We learned, we listened. We weren't trying to be hurtful. And we're going to go out there and we're going to try it and change it and make it better. And they did. And like you said, this game we always talk about having people of color as main protagonists. And again, as with most games, games like this, you can make your own character to look who you want. So obviously I made mine look black.
Every game I play that gives me that option, I do that. My elves are black, and my dwarves are black. My Canary are as black as I can get them in Inquisition. All my characters are black.
Look, anytime I see a Mass Effect commercial, like even when it was like 2 and 3, and I saw that white ass shepherd, I was like, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck? Oh, that's right. That's the standard model for shepherd, because I'm like, my shepherd is black as fuck. He got a bald head. He got a goatee. He looked like me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually kind of jealous. I actually want to go back. My next character is gonna be a female character because I like the cornrows. I was like, yo, I actually like that model of that character. Yo, I
you
actually
can get those for the men.
I know I can, but like so you're a twin in the game, and so your twin is also obviously gonna be black, and so she has her hair like that. I'm like, oh, I like her better. I'm looking at her. I'm like, oh wait, I like her better. I mean, I like mine's cool, but I want her character. So in my next game, I'm gonna play as her. So
my second playthrough, I used those braids with the shaved sides. I like those.
Yeah, no, like I like that look. So I was like, yeah, man, she looks like, you know what it is? She reminds me of Dominic Tibbers' character in The Expanse, Naomi, because she doesn't have the braids. She doesn't have the braids, but she had the shaved head, the shaved side of her head. So it reminds me of her. And you need to watch The Expanse. Like it is, you know what? The Expanse, it's not the same plot line, but in the same aspect of like it's in a world that has all these. There's so much color in the cast that it just stands out to me, and it's on top of that, it's good. And again, we always talk about how like having these main characters being people of color, but it also matters to have the people around them being people of color. Yeah. And just having like you're going like the first mayor of the outpost I put down was a black guy.
Yeah, August Bradley. Love August. Love me some August.
Yeah. Yo, August Bradley, like he was awesome. It's just like the other characters, and it's not just black people. There's Asians, there's Latinos, like Reyes on Kadara. It's like he's just like there's so many of these things in there, and
the fact that when you go to customize, the first default was an Asian woman. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, because I haven't played as a man, but the first default for the women is an Asian woman. Yeah. Now, the black folks is down at the bottom, but that's okay. The first default was a person of color.
So when I'm playing in multiplayer, so the biotic guy I have, because I want to use biotic powers, an Asian guy. And I was like, fuck it. It's, and like, it didn't bother me, but I like, again, I always kind of wonder, it's like, I know white people say they're always down there, but I wonder how they feel about that. Because like, to me, this is normal, right? Playing somebody who's not my own race or who looks like me is a default for people of color, because normally we've had to play as white people. So me getting to play as another character, like playing as an Asian guy, like, I'm just like, cool. Does he do what I'm supposed to do? All right, cool. I'm fine with it, right? It's cool. I customize him. I, give him armor, and he's a badass. I don't really care. But I'm like, I wonder how this feels for white people who have never really had to deal with that choice of, like, you literally have to dig to find the character that looks like you.
But that's something BioWare has always been good at. Even if their defaults are white, from Knights of the Old Republic to Kingdoms of Amalur to Inquisition to Dragon Age series, the series, their defaults may be white, but they give you the option for any user to kind of see themselves in the game. And I think that's why I've always liked the BioWare line of games. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, you mentioned it, but apparently there's rumors that they're working on a reboot of Knights of the Old Republic.
I saw that.
Now, I told people that I will not talk about this too much because you guys will not get my hopes up like that. You will not play with my emotions like that either. So, but listen, if they make a Knights of the Old Republic,
y'all won't see me for like a while till it's done.
The MTR Network is going on break for a month. Just throwing it out there. We're going on break for a month. You guys will deal with it. I'll make sure that we'll try to make it so that we back up content, so the content's still coming out. But you will not hear me do new things during that month because, yes, Knights of the Old Republic is my shit. and I will be in on that shit. And yes, so just letting you know right now what it is. So, like how we started the show, we're like 30 minutes in, and I didn't do anything else. We just talked about video games. See, this is why I like being back. This is great. This is great. Real quick before we move on. Again, this show is being sponsored by Susan Berry, the Pool Law Firm, which is located in Silver Spring, Maryland. Susan Berry and Troy Pool are excellent attorneys in the Maryland, D.C. area. They are from the D.C. and Maryland area, so if you're in the DMV, please check them out. The Pool Law Firm handles criminal law, family law, and personal injury. So if you need an attorney and want to know more, please head over to their wonderful website. The number is 301-585-3014, and the website is thepoollawfirm.com. That's pool with an E, so it's Poole, lawfirm.com. Also, tweakedaudio.com for any earbuds and headphones. 33% off, free shipping and free lifetime warranty. They even have Bluetooth earbuds now, so check them out. Put the code on reviews, 33% off, free shipping and free lifetime warranty. And also, again, the best way to support the show and to hear all of us and all of the stuff, including the doctor here, who has a bunch of shows on the Premium Network now. MTR Premium. We say what?
How did that even happen?
Listen, everybody keeps blaming me for this, but I'm like, yo, you guys come to me. I say, hey, does anybody want to, let me know if you guys want to do a show or anything like that. And next thing I know, people are like, well, I was thinking about doing this. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let me know what you need. I'll give it to you. I'll support you. And you guys do it and people love it. So, hey, listen, that's how you build a network. I just, like I said, I tell Deepalm this all the time. Like, I didn't force anybody to do anything. You guys come to me. I just provide the, I just provide the outlet. That's all I'm doing here. But again, $8 a month. We got plenty of content out there right now. I think already this month I put out 5 episodes on Premium. We have some more stuff coming out. I've already planned, the doctor will be back on the end of the month for Predator 2. We'll be talking about Danny Glover's sweat glands, which they do not get enough credit in, they're not credited on IMDb, but they are definitely a character in the movie. The week before that, next week, you said what?
So much shade.
Hey, listen, I am. It's gonna sound like shade, but I am pro Danny Glover's sweat glands in that movie. I feel like they are underappreciated in that film. They make the fucking movie because that and Gary Busey. So. I can't wait to talk about that movie at the end of the month. Next week, Deepalm's going to be on the Insanity Check, but then I also have, we're going to also be doing the Hellboy comic book club for the first 3 volumes of that. So check that out. We don't know when they're planned, hopefully this month, but Scarestalgia will finally be coming back with me and Petty. We have plans for, Mystery Science Theater 3000, for those who don't know, is now back with new episodes in 2017 on Netflix. We are marathoning that shit tomorrow. I am watching that. So there might be a Scarestalgia talking about that. We also, Ghost Brothers is back in season 2, and it's even better than the first season. If you have not watched, I think they moved to the TLC channel too, sir. So no longer on like Destination America. They are now on TLC. Go watch Ghost Brothers. That show is amazing. I actually love what they do. They're actually professional. They're getting to the point where they're actually professional ghost hunters now. And they're like, it's a really well done show. Now, if you want to watch some hood, not really good ghost hunting shit, watch Ghost in the Hood, and hopefully we'll be getting Rod on with me and Petty to talk about that ghetto ass shit, because that show is hilarious, but they are terrible at what they do, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, you're right. It's on TLC.
Yeah.
I just looked it up, and oh my gosh, they look like they're over their heads. I gotta watch this.
What, Ghost Brothers?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's so good. They are they're in over their heads, but they bring in people who have done it, and they actually go to places that are legit known for paranormal activity. Ghost in the Hood, though, basically goes down to your local bodega. It's like, yo, I heard you guys were saying you guys saw something, or you were experiencing some activities. Well, yeah, shelves were falling off our boxes were falling off our shelves. All right, we'll look into it. It comes out and be like, oh, yeah, we think it could be the fact that you're really close to the train station.
Yeah, the train's kind of shaking your house.
Right. Oh, God, it's so good. And you got to see what they do with the one place that makes paper maches. It is literally the funniest thing ever. Oh, so, yeah, we're going to have those 2 Scarestalgias coming out. So stay tuned for those. And I believe also episode 3 of Walking Dead for season 3 of Walking Dead is finally out. So we'll get myself, Aaron, and Rod back to talk about that as well.
You haven't played it?
Not episode 3 yet. No.
Oh my god, you gotta play it.
Listen,
I took a break from Andromeda to play it.
The first two episodes are already a lot. So I got to hold off on playing this season of The Walking Dead because it's whew, yeah, gets into it. Yeah, they shot a kid at the beginning. like one of the episodes they shoot a kid. Like I can't. There's a lot going on here, man. I think
baby in the eyeball just wanted her headphones.
Right. And I think this month, Guardians of the Galaxy comes out on Telltale Games. So, might be next week actually. Yeah, because I know it comes out before the movie does. So, Guardians of the Galaxy comes out, and that if you haven't seen that trailer for that Telltale game, watch it. It looks amazing. I am definitely in on that shit completely. So, last thing here, I don't have specifics on this yet. AwesomeCon is June 16th and 18th. We said it before. We're not doing a panel this year. Boo. Good news is we are down for doing a live show. I'm trying to get the venues to email me back and let me know what's going on. I tried calling them. They told me to email. They have not emailed me back. I'm trying to get them to find out so we can nail down where the location is. I should hopefully have it within the next week or two. Once we do that, we'll let you guys know. But it'll be Worth My 40 Acres, the MTR Network, and the Black IO Tips. So just go ahead and block off. We're aiming for that Saturday, so I think that's the 17th. Just block off that day so you know and prepare to come out and see us and support us. We're going to do we're not going to call it the Four Loco podcast party, but it's basically going to be that, where we have 2 hours of podcasting from all your favorites. So be prepared for that and come out and support us. And you can also, if you want to go to AwesomeCon, come out and support AwesomeCon, because we will be in the area of AwesomeCon. We won't be at the con itself, but we'll be within, like walking or cab distance of the convention center. So come out and support us and find us, and we'll go from there. So, all right, I think that's all the stuff there, and we talked about Andromeda. Let's get into some other stuff. So apparently, UFC stands for United Fighting Championships.
Oh my God! Everything that comes out, I'm like, give Dr. Dow his things. Give that man his money right now.
I'm just so when it first came out and you saw the video of this Asian man being pulled out of. Oh wait, sorry. Before we do that, apparently the Last Jedi trailer just dropped.
Yes, Shanna just posted that.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I got emailed. It got emailed to me.
Fancy.
Yeah, I'm fancy. It got emailed to me with stills. So I can't. I'm not watching it right now, but I'm seeing some of the stills from it, and I can't wait. I'll be watching this when we get off air. But so back to United. When it first came out, and they were saying, well, the flight was overbooked, and so we had to. We asked this man to leave. We offered to pay, but they wouldn't go. So we had to reaccommodate him. Like, that's not how that works. That shouldn't.
You've flown before. I think so I've been on flights where they've overbooked. They usually ask for the volunteers. They won't board anybody until they have the volunteers, because there's an article I think I shared on Facebook last week when all this dropped. They can stop you from boarding and compensate you, but once you're on board, they're not supposed to pull you off. They're not covered by that. So, and most people, they will go pretty high. I've seen people offered as much as like $600 and an overnight hotel stay and stuff like that. And I've heard people say, don't even offer. If they pull you off the flight, they got to pay you almost triple what your ticket is worth. Mm-hmm. But apparently it recently came out, and I'm going to have to investigate and see if this is actually true, that the flight wasn't actually overbooked.
Well, no. So that's the first thing. The flight wasn't overbooked. What happened was, and that's, so if the flight's overbooked, they will tell you is overbooked before anybody boards, so you can get volunteers. That's how it always fucking works. That's how it works. And apparently they did offer $800.
I was gonna say, you offer enough money. I've seen people wait. They say 3, then they say 4, then they say 6. Hands go up. More hands sometimes than they actually need go up. Like, I'll take $600 towards my next trip. Right. That's a free trip.
So what happened was, it wasn't that the flight was overbooked. They needed to get United airline employees to that next airport. So it wasn't that it was overbooked. It was booked fine. It's a booked flight, but they wanted to get their own employees onto that flight
Instead of working with another airline to transport their employees, because that would cost them money.
Tough shit.
Well, and I agree. It's about to cost them a hell of a lot more.
Right. So the CEO, what's the CEO's name? He is Oscar Munez. This is his first statement was, "This is an upsetting event to all of us here at United. I'll apologize for having to reaccommodate these customers. Our team is moving with a sense of urgency to work with authorities and conduct our own detailed review of what happened. We are also reaching out to this passenger to talk directly to him and further address and resolve this situation."
So assault and battery is now the new definition for reaccommodating?
Again, this Asian man got treated like a black dude. I'm just saying, or black woman, or any black person in general. Because what? Because then next, after that, there was the whole slandering of him because they got the wrong Dr. Dow. And they started saying that this man was a criminal and had a criminal background. Apparently he does not. And they got the wrong Dr. Dow. Because, all Asian people look alike and have the same name. So, It's like if somebody looked up John Smith and was just like, oh, well, fuck it, You're a John Smith. He's a John Smith. Oh, he must be the same person.
Tomato.
Yeah. Second statement sent to employees. Like you, I was upset to see and hear what happened last night aboard United Express Flight 3411 headed from Chicago to Louisville. While the facts and circumstances are still evolving, I love how when things are caught on tape, facts are always still evolving. Especially with respect to why this customer defied Chicago aviation security officers the way he did. To give you a clear picture of what transpired, I've included below a recap with preliminary reports filed by our employees. As you will read, this situation was unfortunately compounded when one of the passengers we politely asked to deplane refused, and it became necessary to contact Chicago aviation security officers to help. Our employees followed established procedures for dealing with a situation like this. While I deeply regret the situation arose, I also emphatically stand behind all of you. I want to commend you for continuing to go above and beyond to ensure we fly right. I do, however, believe there are lessons we can learn from this experience. You think? And we are taking close look at those at the circumstances surrounding this incident. Treating our customers and each other with respect and dignity is at the core of who we are, and we must always remember this no matter how challenging the situation.
If you could see my face right now, oh my God. I hate everything.
Again.
Mm-hmm.
Third statement. And I believe the third statement is after they lost $1 billion in the stock prices. Dear team, the truly horrific events that occurred already. This. All right, listen. First of all, if you got to make 3 statements, looking at you, Sean Spicer, or 4 statements to clarify your original statement, you already done fucked up. Probably best to stop fucking talking. Just FYI.
Free 99. Shutting up is absolutely free.
Dear team, the truly horrific events that occurred on this flight has elicited many responses from all of us. Outrage, anger, and disappointment. That's actually not what was elicited from you in those 2 previous statements, though. You weren't outraged, you weren't angry, and you weren't disappointed. You actually said you were proud of the way that they reacted. What are you talking about, dude? I share all of those sentiments, and one above all, my deepest apologies for what happened. Like you, I continue to be disturbed by what happened on this flight, and I deeply apologize to the customer forcibly removed and to all customers aboard. No one should ever be mistreated this way. All right, I'm going to play this back real quick. Okay, a statement before this said, our employees followed established procedure for dealing with a situation like this. While I deeply regret the situation, I also emphatically stand behind all of you and want to commend you for going above and beyond to ensure we fly right. That was the last statement he said. And this statement he says...
Wait. And didn't that last statement come out after the officers involved in brutalizing that man got suspended?
That might have... Did they? That might have been.
I feel like his second statement talking about we did what we were supposed to do was after those officers' bosses no, the hell y'all didn't. Suspension until we can figure this shit out and mitigate how much money we're going to have to pay this man.
Mm-hmm.
So you doubling down when the officers, employers are saying, no, we fucked up. I hate it.
I want you to know we take full responsibility and we will work to make this right. It's never too late to do the right thing. I have committed to our customers and our employees that we are going to fix what's broken so this never happens again. But you said before that everything was right. What are we talking about? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing here? This will include a thorough review of crew movements, our policy for incentivizing volunteers. I volunteer for tribute in these situations. how we handle oversold situations, and an examination of how we partner with airlines, airport authorities, and local law enforcement. We'll communicate the results of our review by April 30th. I promise you, we will do better.
All right. No, you won't.
Here's the thing about writing PR statements. Your PR statements only work if they don't sound like PR. Your third statement completely contradicts your first two fucking statements. like nobody believes you. Fourth statement. We continue to express our sincere apology to Dr. Dow. The first time they've mentioned the doctor's name, right? 4 fucking statements, and it takes you the 4th time before you actually identify the man you dragged off the fucking plane. We cannot stress enough that we remain steadfast to our commitment to make this right. This horrible situation has provided a hard learning experience from which we will take immediate and concrete action. We have committed to our customers and our employees that we are going to fix what's broken so this never happens again. First, we are committing that United will not ask law enforcement officers to remove passengers from our flights unless it is a matter of safety and security. Second, we started a thorough review of policies that govern crew movements, incentivizing volunteers in these situations, how we handle oversold situations. This wasn't an oversold situation. An examination of how we partner with airport authorities and local law enforcement. Third, we will fully review and improve our training programs to ensure our employees are prepared. The rest of the statement goes on the same way. And then it ends with United CEO Oscar Munez and the company called Dr. Dow on numerous occasions to express our heartfelt and deepest apologies. If I was him, I wouldn't answer the phone because I would be in a full body cast.
Oh, I don't think he did because his daughter did a press conference with their lawyer yesterday.
Yes. So, yeah, no.
Because they say he was concussed and he lost some of his front teeth as a result of the incident.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which again, had this been me, I looked at that and was like, that's all, because you would have you have no fucking idea. I would have, kidding me. I saw the image. I don't know if it was real or not. There was an image. People say people on this United flight. It was several people. They had full headgear on, and some of them had UFC fighting gloves on.
No, God, that's Photoshop.
I was like, oh, yeah. When you that moment when you realize you booked on United. So again, we saw this, and I think, for me, when I saw this, I was immediately like, hey, this is exactly how I expect people of color to be treated in this country. Like we're all in the same boat. We get treated like this. We get treated horribly. We get treated terribly. And there was unity there, right? I saw a lot of black people coming out going, hey, yeah, this is fucked up. This is wrong. Like on a lot of these issues, you see black people at the forefront of these things. I mean, even if it's not our own, it happens to us. A lot of us are still going, man, this is fucked up. Mm-hmm. The problem is that sometimes when this happens, and there's always a hesitation by some of us, because it always feels like for non-black people of color, there's always still this lack of understanding of blackness, and there's still an anti-blackness, an undercurrent there. So, the lawyer for Dr. Dow said this. Dr. Dow, I believe, to his great credit, has come to understand that he is the guy the guy to stand up for all passengers going forward. Lawyer Thomas Demetrio said during the news conference Thursday. Demetrio said that someone emailed him that Dow refusing to give up his seat made him the Asian version of Rosa Parks.
Fuck my life. Stop.
But he added that he did not think what happened to Dow was racially motivated and could never happen to anybody else. On social media, some have been comparing Dow, who is Vietnamese and was chosen to give up his seat but refused, to Rosa Parks, while others slammed the comparison. David Dow was like, I like this one. David Dow was like the Rosa Parks, was like the Asian Rosa Parks, but more brutal.
Excuse me?
Dr. Asian Old Man is our generation's Rosa Parks. Passengers are not criminals, and authorities should be neutral agents. I saw, oh my God, some people actually had the images. 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus. 2017, Asian man refuses to give up his seat on the United Airlines flight. There have been other ones. Apparently, there are some people going around. They did a protest somewhere. I can't remember if it was in front of United or from the White or something like that. Chinese Lives Matter. And apparently, he's not Chinese.
Vietnamese.
He's not Chinese, but apparently, the Chinese Lives Matter. This is why black folk have some hesitation sometimes with non-black people of color. You guys have no understanding, and don't try to understand the history of black civil rights in this country. You don't respect it at all. When you call this man the Asian Rosa Parks, because what happened to him should not be legal, and he's basically gonna own this airline by the time it's done with it, right? He's gonna be paid so fucking much in compensation for this. How much was Rosa Parks compensated for?
Let's talk about the fact that he was on a flight that had United not needed to get their employees somewhere, he would not have been removed from. Rosa Parks was pulled off a bus because by virtue of her being black, they didn't want her on that bus. That's it.
Right.
Legally, it was against the law. He was inconvenienced from a consumer standpoint, and he was brutalized. And I don't want to minimize that. That is very important and is very problematic. However, and my guess is it might have been racially motivated. But again, however, he's going to be compensated for it. It wasn't him protesting an unjust law. He was trying to get somewhere. Period. She was fighting for basic rights for all of us. I'm sorry, for black people, because some of us already had them. I'm so sick of them neutering the civil rights movement for this bullshit. It's happening too much to the point now that when you got these idiots like DeVos and Carson and all the idiots that make up the Trump clown circus in government trying to use that imagery to justify their bullshit, people are like, oh, I guess it is the same thing. Stop diminishing the power of those movements when it's heinous enough what happened to him. You don't need to draw parallels to some great movement to understand that what happened to him was heinous and should not have happened.
And what always bothers me about these things, and I think some people brought it up, and again, because of the way we are, and I think that the way black people are in general, we're always going, when we see something like this happen, yes, we're going to stand up and say something because we know we're next. Or we know that it's happened to us. Like, I think somebody showed there was a video of, there was a Delta flight where a black woman had gotten dragged off the flight. You know, it's like, these things happen all the time. Like, there was the images of, there were two, actually happened twice. There was one where the cop, were they both Gwinnett County? No. There's three of them, because there was one, I can't remember where the first one happened, where the cop literally slammed the black guy. All of them happened this week. Cop slammed the black guy who had his hands up on the ground and started beating him. Another one where the same thing happened. Cop was shown stomping a black man, and apparently he got fired. 2 cops got fired for that shit.
And all the kid was doing was jaywalking.
Well, no, here's the crazy thing. That's a different one. That's the first one. The first one was the jaywalking one. The second one was the guy, he might have been handcuffed, but he was on the ground, and they literally kicked him and stomped him on the head. Right? That's the second one. Third one was also in Gwinnett County. It was just a guy got out of the car, cop pulled the guy out of the car, and literally just hauled off and punched him in the face, and it got caught on tape. All 3 of these things happened. how many times do you want to bet? How much do you want to bet the same people are going, Dr. Dow's the Asian Rosa Parks are silent on those issues? So that's the problem. Like, there's never any cross section between those.
That's a sucker's bet. I ain't taking that bet.
Right. I mean, they're like, we'll stand up for you. Like, it's like when April did, Oscar So White, and was like, coming to tell people, it's like, no, it's not just about black people, it's about everything. But there were Asian actors and everything like that came out going, well, I don't know about this. This is weird. And even Latino, like, well, I don't know. I don't think it's really an issue until it becomes an issue for them. So all of a sudden they're going, well, no, this like these whitewashing thing. What's going on here? Yeah, guys, that's what Oscar So White was about. But you guys don't care about it, don't hear it. When black people say it, then it happens to you. Then you want that support. Like,
well, everyone socialized to ignore and dismiss the trials and tribulations of not just black people, but also First Nation people.
Yeah.
We're the lowest on the rung. Like, well, y'all must have got what y'all deserve. Y'all couldn't fight y'all way out of slavery and genocide. So,
right. And it's tough because, like you said, I see this man getting dragged off the plane. And I go, damn, that could have been any one of us. That could have been me. That could have been you. They would do this to us, and they don't give a fuck about us. They probably wouldn't have been a white woman because they don't want them problems.
And then there were those idiots that were coming through and caping for them, including that pilot's wife put out this thing piece. Well, I'm a pilot's wife, and here's why. Like, bitch, stop that statement.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Oh my God. She was just going on and on about the plight of the pilot and their family. And it's like, it was an inconvenience. They could have got on a different flight, or with the money they were going to try to give the volunteers, they could have booked them another flight through another airline going to the same location.
Right.
I don't hear about you. The same that happens with these officers' wives when their shit ass ain't shit husbands get caught doing some stuff, and they're like, well, it's so hard. You know what? It's not hard to be a decent human being.
It really is.
You actually got to put in a lot of extra effort to be a dick, if we're going to be honest about it.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely 100% right on this one. Like, I don't understand that. Well, technically, he's just gone off the plane. Like, this is, and again, those things were like, and I think this is why black people speak up, because those things are triggering, because those are the same things they say to us. Like, when they started pulling, like, news organizations started pulling this information. I think it was in Kentucky, like the Courier. They said, "Oh, Dr. Dow has a troubled past, and years ago he was convicted of having sex with a sex for drugs scheme, and he lost his license." They had the wrong Dr. Dow, first of all. Wrong one.
But they didn't.
Huh?
They didn't. They didn't know that when they asked him to step off that plane.
Absolutely. So it didn't even matter that they had the wrong one. But as soon as I saw that hit piece, I was like, "Wow, that's a hit piece usually reserved for black people."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, and so I can't not say anything because I know that would happen to us.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, I see solidarity there. And what kills me is that so many other people of color don't see that. They don't see what happens to us could happen to you.
Until it happens to you. And
then they wonder why. Then they wonder why aren't black people supporting us? First of all, we probably are. First of all. Like, and a lot of times, I'll be honest, I actually am not even going to be me. My words. I saw an Asian person say this. So I'm going to repeat what they said. They were like, you guys saying, those in the Asian community saying, we're the black people, you need to check yourselves, because I honestly see more black people talking about this than our own community. And yeah, like Where was I remember some of the things. I remember when Daniel Holclaw, who was, I believe, half Asian.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that Asian community was kind of silent on that one. Who was there was an Asian officer who killed Akala Gurley, I believe. And
they wanted him to get the same treatment that any white officer would get. I was like, that's not the answer.
Yeah, they literally yeah. And that was the Asian community behind him on that one. So there was also a couple, maybe like a month or so ago, probably about a month ago, there was an article done about the Asian community and Asian immigrants who were supporting Trump's travel ban.
Mm-hmm.
And they're basically holding up signs going, "Do it the right way." So here's the thing. My only message to people of color, non-black people of color. we're always gonna be when there's an injustice against you. The black community is always gonna be there because we know at the end of the day, white supremacy. If you ain't white, it's gonna hit you. So you guys might not understand that. Maybe you're new here, and maybe you don't understand that. But we get that, so we're always gonna be there. But you guys gotta check your anti-blackness, because that shit it's making you look fucking stupid. It's making you look fucking stupid when you go out here and you're voting for Trump and you're supporting the travel ban because you somehow think that it's not going to affect you. It will affect you because what do you think happens if they get rid of all those niggas, yo?
They gonna turn to you next.
They've done it before. They rounded up all the Japanese Americans and put them in internment camps. Like this is not like this. It's not like this country has a really good history with appreciating Asian culture. Actually, no, let me take that back. They appreciate your culture enough that they want to appropriate it and remove you from it. That's why white guys always get to play the Asian character. And that's why, they don't actually appreciate, they appropriate your culture. So, yeah, I mean, you can keep hoping and praying and thinking that you have it better than us and that you're not going to be in the same situation as us. But I had to tell you, that's unfortunately just not true.
You're next.
Yeah.
You are next.
You were definitely next.
It's for them to target us because we're loud about it.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet is not going to exempt you. When they're done with us, you're next.
So, yeah, time to step up, Also, so I found these on our This Week in Stupid. Also, next with This Week in Stupid.
Sorry, go ahead. I know what you're going to say. And I just thought of a tweet that I'm going to... You probably saw it too, but go ahead.
Sean Spicer. Gotta go.
Okay, so before you explain it, have you seen that tweet that somebody put out where it was like Pepsi said this is the biggest PR blunder this week? And then it says United says hold my beer. And then it says Sean Spicer says Leroy.
Drink it. Listen.
And for those of you listening who don't know Leroy Jenkins, look up Leroy Jenkins World of Warcraft on YouTube and thank me later.
Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. It's the greatest thing ever. He's been doing a lot of Leroy Jenkins stuff too, though. It's not just, but this one was, yeah. I'm gonna see because I actually didn't have the video of him doing. I think I have it here. I'm gonna play it. Why
does this mediocre white man still have a job and I'm having trouble getting interviews?
I want to just point out to people the job of the press secretary of the President of the United States is to communicate. It is to get the message out, and it is to be basically the mouthpiece of the President of the United States. Sean Spicer is terrible at his job, and look, I have watched So I've been under a Republican, maybe some people are young and the only person they've ever really been underneath and they've only really listened to is Barack Obama. And so you're not used to this. And this is why I get so frustrated I'm so frustrated in the election because I was like, people, you don't want another George W. Bush situation or worse. And I don't think a lot of people understood this, but now they're starting to get it. I remember Ari Fletcher. I remember some of George W. Bush's press secretaries where I was just like, you're lying through your fucking teeth. I hate you so much, right? But they at least did it with a certain confidence and competence.
And the ability to articulate.
That, you're just like, oh, I hate him. You're lying through your teeth, but you at least sound good doing it. Sean Spicer is a fucking idiot. There's nothing around this. So let me see if I can get this. Let me see. Let me see if I can play this. Let me see. Let me turn this up. And was it not playing anymore?
To using chemical weapons.
I'll give you the opportunity to clarify something you said.
Oh, here we
Getting
go.
any subtraction right now. Quote.
I'll play it again. Sorry.
Okay.
I hit the wrong button to turn it up.
We didn't use chemical weapons in World War II. You had someone as despicable as Hitler who didn't even sink to using chemical weapons.
I'll give you the opportunity to clarify something you said that seems to be
Thank you.
gaining some traction right now.
I think somebody in the background goes, "Thank you." So he goes, "I'm gonna give you the opportunity to clarify." Somebody goes, "Yeah, thank you. Please have him clarify that because that's just fucking stupid."
Did you see the picture reactions of April Ryan? And God, I wish I could remember her
I can't
name.
remember I know, but like they were amazing.
They were just like,
Yeah. April Ryan is the first one you notice because she's looking down, like writing in her paper, and she looks up all of a sudden and looks around like, "Did I just hear him say what I did?" The white woman reporter in front of her to her right kind of just doesn't blink and then go, "Wait, did he just?" And you can see her brain like turn the. Did he just really say no? And she kind of leans in and like try to squint and like, did he just say that? No, he didn't. Wait, did he just say that? So here we go.
through about 5 or 6 different
Right.
like her brain was misfiring.
Right.
Like it does not compute. Oh my God.
She's trying to help him out here.
Hitler didn't even sink to the level of using chemical weapons. What did you mean by that?
I think when you come to sarin gas, he was not using the gas on his own people the same way that Assad is doing. I mean, there was clearly. I understand your point. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. There was not.
She helped him out. All right, this is why the man said it. He said it to
Oh, sorry. So this is another clip. But no, I wanted to get to the other part. He says that because here's the thing. I don't even want to say that's not the most egregious thing he said because it really is. But then after that, when he's explaining, it was like, well, no, he brought the people into the Holocaust centers.
It's not a welcome center. What? What is wrong with it? God. What? I did not know until this man became president that there were people this stupid on the planet that weren't just eating their own shit in a trailer park somewhere. I swear to God, I did not know this. How can you be that stupid?
Yeah, let me see.
So it's not a question of how long that alliance has lasted, but at what point do they recognize? And I think that Russia has to
Sink to the level of using chemical weapons. What did you mean by that?
I think when you come to sarin gas, he was not using the gas on his own people the same way that Assad is doing. I mean, there was clearly.
Sorry.
Sorry.
That was more.
Thank you. I appreciate that. There was not in the he brought him into to the Holocaust Center. I understand that. But I'm saying in the way that Assad used them, where he went into towns, dropped them down to innocent.
All right. So, because I had to lose a Facebook friend over this week because motherfuckers being stupid and trying to get semantics on me about chemical weapons. First of all, the gas that Hitler used in the gas chambers was technically defined as a chemical weapon. So fuck you on that one first.
Gas is a chemical.
All right. So fuck you on that one. So we're gonna play semantics on that. But it was actually a chemical weapon. So go fuck yourself. 2, the reason why you don't play semantics on something like this is, and why this is more than just a gaffe from the press secretary, which is the idea that this happens. There's so much context here. First of all, this White House and press secretary and just the White House in general has found a way to insult minority groups on every single opportunity they can. I think it was on they had the fight with John Lewis. I can't remember what it was on, something significant. I can't remember if it was MLK Day or something. They had a fight with John Lewis on that. They had International Women's Day where they were disrespecting women on that day. Now you have this with the Holocaust centers and Hitler wasn't that bad. Hitler wasn't as bad as Assad. He didn't use chemical weapons. He said what? On Passover. Like, it's just, they have a history of that. Second of all, when you look at who Trump's base is, and a significant part of that base is the alt-right / neo-Nazis / racist dickholes, all right? And they are very anti-Semitic. Steve Bannon is very anti-Semitic. And I feel like we keep ignoring that when we talk about, the war between Jared Kushner and Steve Bannon. It might not even be that Jared Kushner was more work. It should be that he's Jewish. I wouldn't want to fuck with this dude either. So, and I'm not trying to defend Jared Kushner on this one either because fuck him. But I'm just saying that's probably more the baseline of what that battle is that you literally have a Jewish guy working with an anti-Semitic motherfucker. Mm-hmm. But that is the base, all right? And before Sean Spicer had this press conference, the day before, Richard Spencer, anti-Semitic, neo-Nazi motherfucker, was out here doing a protest because they were not happy about that missile strike that Trump did because, America first and we don't care about them. And so his base, his anti-Semitic base, was upset. So the next day, his press secretary goes out there, and what Sean Spicer did with him trying to finagle and downplay, Hitler and use of gas and stuff like that, that is a Holocaust denier playbook.
Mm-hmm.
That is what that is. That is why you cannot play semantics with this. This is why this is as serious and why Sean Spicer has to go. Although it is a deeper issue because that what Sean Spicer said about even Hitler didn't use chemical weapons. That is literally a tweet that was out on Tuesday.
Yep.
Some idiot tweeted that and got immediately corrected going, yeah, you're right. He didn't use gas. He just gassed 6 million Jews. Like, come on. Like, that tweet was put out there. It got viral. It immediately got debunked. But because Trump gets all his news off of Twitter, it somehow ended up in a White House press briefing talking point. And it is literally out of the Holocaust denier playbook. That is absurd and disgusting. And Sean Spicer has to go. There's a reason why he literally went around. He had to clarify 4 times and went on an apology tour of every major news network that night.
And even the apology was like, I'm sorry if y'all was offended. It still was one of those bullshit apologies that people give out when they're not really sorry, but they know that there's a consequence, a political consequence to what they said. So they're trying to ease up, even though you put it out there. So even if he apologizes for it, now alt-right base will just say, well, he's just apologizing because he's got to play the game, but he's really on our side.
Yeah.
It's that stupid, dangerous game that he's playing.
Oh,
he's not really sorry, and it wasn't a real apology.
Oh, it definitely wasn't, because his whole thing was he basically came out and, like you said, he did the if I offended anybody, I'm apology. But he did more a sincere apology to President Trump.
Mm-hmm. I let you down. What?
Right. Yeah, no, this dude got to go. He got to go. Although part of me doesn't want him to go. Like, people keep saying he got to go. Part of me also doesn't want him to go because he actually I actually it's gonna sound weird now after what I just said. I actually do like Sean Spicer as press secretary, and this is why. He's exactly as chaotic and as stupid as Donald Trump is.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I want is to get someone who can put a fresh fresh dressing on the Trump shit that's there. I don't want somebody, and honestly, I've come to loathe this person. I don't want somebody of Ivanka Trump's quality, who the media goes, oh wow, she can speak really well and she can dress us all up, and you think that everything's fine, but all they're really doing is moving shit to the other side of the plate. That's what I don't want, because that's what Ivanka Trump is. When Donald Trump had this missile strike that did nothing, by the way, she was out there going, oh, I appreciate my dad. Oh, well, I appreciate the tough decision that was made here, and the answer against the attacks against women and children and stuff like that. But she's silent when her dad was behind closed doors yesterday signing a bill that allows states to defund Planned Parenthood. Ivanka was nowhere to be found.
Of course not.
She said nothing about her father denying the same Syrian refugees that she said he did the strike for, which, again, did nothing. She says nothing about her father and him not allowing them to come into this country.
Well, there's also the fact that people want to raise Ivanka up like she's this great pioneer for women business, and she's got this great plan for, family leave. And I'm like, her plan only benefits those like her of means and wealth. What are you talking about?
She's a terrible person.
She's her. I forget who got in trouble for this. She is the epitome of that whole lipstick on a pig statement that got someone in trouble politically a few years back.
It was President Obama.
I didn't want to attribute to him if I was wrong.
Yeah. He said it about Palin.
She's a celluloid package, but she is every much her father's child, and that ain't a compliment.
Yeah. No. The entire Trump family, save Barron, just because he's too fucking young, but he'll probably grow up to be just as shitty as the rest of that family. The Trump family, yeah, the entire Trump family is terrible, and the consolidation you're seeing around them is not to make America great again; it's to make the Trump brand great again. And that's what you're seeing right now. I'm not going to get into the information that's coming out about how the noose is tightening and there's going to be impeachment stuff, because I don't believe it until it actually happens and we actually see something and we actually get sourced information. If it happens, then we'll talk about it. But like, I'm not betting on that. And until we see that, I have to go. We know. And what you're seeing is a family that is literally pillaging America and shaping policy to benefit themselves. It is illegal, and I can't see how we've allowed it to go. It hasn't even been 100 days, like 85 days or something. I can't see how we've allowed it to go this long.
Because they're white.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, there you go. You fix it. Yeah, you're right. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right. So apparently I'm trending in Atlanta right now.
What?
Yeah. No. So it goes to the next thing we're going to talk about. So apparently, Jeffrey Lord is an idiot, and Jeffrey Lord decided, again this week in stupid, decided he was going to try to compare Donald Trump to you guess MLK. Let's see what we got here.
That was nice talking to you today, Chris.
When I was a kid, President Kennedy did not want to.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I got to do this because we got to get the Don Lemon's response, and that's why I'm trending in Atlanta apparently right now. So, here we go. Play.
President Trump is the Martin Luther King of healthcare.
Oh, Jeffrey.
When I was a kid, President Kennedy did not want to introduce the Civil Rights Bill because he said it wasn't popular, he didn't have the votes for it, etc. Dr. King kept putting people in the streets in harm's way to put the pressure on so that the bill would be introduced. That's what
Jeffrey,
finally
you do
worked.
understand that Dr. King was marching for civil rights because people that look like me were being beaten. Dogs were being sicked on them. Basic human rights were being withheld from these people merely because of the color of their skin. So let's not equate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a humanitarian, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, to the vagina-grabbing President Donald Trump.
Get him! Sorry. I hate that man. Why is he still in the air?
There's a reason why from now, mostly they only have Jeffrey Lord on remotely using Skype and things like that, because if he was on set with black people saying things, he would get his ass whooped because it gets worse. So then CNN, because they see they have a hit, because this is what CNN does now. They bring on these racist people to say these incredible things, and they keep putting them on set with black people. And I don't think the hosts have as much say over these as possible. But there's one host in particular that's starting to seem like he might be coming out of the sunken place and getting this shit together. And that's Don Lemon. Like, ever since New Year's Eve, Don Lemon kind of been on some shit. So here's a segment that with Don Lemon has a couple other ones, a couple other people on this segment. But it's Don. I can't believe I'm saying this. Literally shines in this clip. So let's play.
Many people are aghast by the fact that you can make a comparison between Donald Trump and Martin Luther King Jr., something that's unfounded.
No matter how many times you set up the straw man, I did not do that.
Okay, Jeffrey.
You did.
Jeffrey, let me ask you something. You have 3 people you work with, right? You work with Bakar, you work with me, you work with Simone. 3 people of color.
And Selena said.
No. Let me get the point out. Let me get the point out. We are telling you that comparison was insulting, and you're ignoring it. Don't you think you should take that into consideration, whether or not you're trying to make a point or not, even if it's to the point that if I offended you, I'm sorry.
Don, when I lived as a teenager in the South and my dad lost his job standing up for a black waitress.
I'm going to stop it right there because
I'm either gonna stroke out or I'm gonna go on. Fuck your father. Fuck you. What is wrong? Why did
when I was a kid, and my father lost his job for standing up for like that's a new level of black. I have a black friend. You gotta admit that, right? That's a new level of I have a black friend. I didn't see that one coming. I did not see that one coming.
Answer my question now. You're not answering my question in the moment. Don't take me back to some before the war crap. I want to hear what you're saying to the coworkers you work with now, Jeffrey. Answer the question now. I don't want to hear about stuff from 50 damn years ago. I want to hear now to the coworkers, to the people of color you work with on this network every single day who are offended by your remark. You're not listening to us.
Don, come on, come on. This isn't right. This is not moral. We don't judge people by color in this country. That is racist. It's wrong.
Let me tell you something.
Let
me tell you something. Every single day I walk out of my house, I am a black woman, Jeffrey. I don't have the luxury of saying I don't see color. Every single day I walk out of my house, someone sees me as a black woman, regardless of how I see myself. I'm a black woman. Don is a black man. Bakari is a black man. You have the luxury of walking out of the house and just being an American.
You don't have to think about it.
You do not have to think about it. And that, my friend, is a position of privilege.
Look, yo, you got to watch the clip because it's literally Don Lemon has finally had enough. When he says you don't have to think about it, it's deadpan. He's not smiling. You can read his eyes. And as a black person, I've never seen Don Lemon have that face. But it's that black person face you have when you see another black person at your job and you both go, I'm fed up with this shit. That's the look that Don Lemon had on his face.
Here's the thing about Don Lemon. It's not too late to change. So I don't want what I'm about to say to sound like that. But Don, you were a part of this. You are a part of why Jeffrey Lord is where he is. You were soft selling him and not so much co-signing him before Trump, during the Obama years. I'm glad he seems to be coming to his senses. It's like you've helped, you fed this monster.
Yep.
This is partly your fault. And now you're trying to rein him in and you done figured out that you can't and you don't know what to do. And I'm sorry for you, but I don't feel sorry for you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Look, I love it in the singular moment of Don Lemon finally being fed up. And I said this, people were going, oh, yeah, good to see Don. Don's invited back to the cookout. I'm like, oh, hold up. No, he's not. Don don't even get a plate. He don't even get a leftover plate. Because Don got a lot of shit to make up for. I remember Ferguson. I remember the shit he was saying. Like you said, he positioned himself. Like Don did that thing where black people decide to play the both sides thing and I'm just being neutral here until he got to a position where he can actually now be like, oh, well, no, that's just wrong and stand up more. And he's now in that position right now. But I'm like, yo, in order to get to this position, you kind of sold us out. And not just us. I'm still mad at Don. This was either 2004 or 2006. It was sometime around then. It was during the Bush administration. Remember, it was after 9/11, and it was in New York, and there was a Muslim group, and they were trying to build a mosque, and it was not. People kept saying it was the 9/11 the Ground Zero mosque, but it was literally 4 blocks away from Ground Zero, and that's not Ground Zero. And people were upset, and it's basically because this is around again Bush time. This is really when the Islamophobia stuff really started getting out of hand. Actually, it was beyond getting out of hand. It was just ridiculous. And it's gotten worse. But and Don Lemon brought somebody on to debate this Muslim man who was talking about why, the mosque would be brought. And the other guy was just being a racist. But Don kept hitting the other guy with, well, why can't you just build it somewhere else? But why is there a problem? Well, it's not the same as being this. It's not really racist. Like, Don was doing that shit. So, like, I'm with you on this. Like, fuck Don Lemon on this. It's still a fuck Don Lemon.
Yeah.
He has a lot of, he needs a lot more of this, of him confronting people like Jeffrey Lord and putting his foot down. He needs a lot more of that before I can sit there and go, oh, Don Lemon's, he's back on the board. He's back with what it was. Because like you said, he's thrown us under the bus so many other fucking times and built up people like Jeffrey Lord.
Yeah. I'm gonna take it a step further. You need to apologize for all the people you threw under the bus, including, didn't he also do the interview with that gentleman who was a lawyer who happened to be Muslim, demanding that he answer for shit? And he was like, no, and I'm not about to do that, and here's why. Wasn't that him?
It could have been him, or it could have been. Here's the crazy thing. It could have been him, but there's so many people and so many hosts who have done that before. I'm not sure, and that's the sad thing about it.
That much I know.
Yeah, it might. No, you know what? It wasn't him. I know what you're talking about. It was during their daytime program. It was a CNN International, and I remember it now. So it wasn't Don Lemon, but he's been close on that sometimes. Because take a step further. It might not have been in that case, but go back and find the clip of him talking to them about the 9/11 mosque. He basically says that though. He basically holds all Muslims accountable for that. He's kind of playing that crowd. And so that's what Don Lemon, I don't believe, and I've always believed this, that Don Lemon never really believed that stuff he was doing. And when you see a clip like this, you go, oh, there's the real Don Lemon. That's you being real about it. And when you even see him talk about things like, obviously, gay rights and things like that, you get more of the real Don Lemon. But when he's talking about race, he's the one that did the whole, I'll take it a step further than Bill O'Reilly. Here are 5 things that the black community needs to do to be better. Pull your pants up, clean up the trash, and stop saying the N-word. That was Don Lemon.
Mm-hmm.
Go fuck yourself, man. Like, dude, you fed these people like Jeffrey Lord and gave them validity in their shit. But yeah, in the singular issue, oh yeah, I love watching. Don Lemon's face is just like, you can just tell he's trying to get out of this fucking place. He's just like, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm dealing with this. This is like, and you can tell, and even then, again, you can hear that's the real Don Lemon there, because he was actually mad at Jeffrey Lord. He was like, listen, wait a minute. You have your coworkers here telling you, your black coworkers here telling you that you are wrong, and you're not. Are you trying to tell us you're not gonna? And Jeffrey Lord said things like, "Oh no, there aren't any people. There aren't any people. There aren't any black Americans. They're just people of color. They're just Americans." It's like, go fuck yourself. That's not true.
Racist dog whistle.
Yeah.
If you have a problem seeing my color, that means you have a problem with my color. You can go fuck yourself.
Right. Well, I love all Americans, and it's just that's just what goes on. And no, that's not. No.
You know what?
No, go ahead.
It's just the slightly off topic. I have just never, in all my years, been able to understand how white people can stay so, and I feel like it's willfully oblivious to the reality of living in this country as a person of color, and make so many excuses for why race has nothing to do with the disparate treatment, with the disparate education rate. I don't even want to know what that must be like, because that's a form of callousness. I don't get it.
I can kind of explain it. Because as a man, I can kind of look at it from the lens of being that blind to gender issues and the issues that women go through. And you know what it is when you're surrounded by other people, like in my case, being surrounded by other men who also don't know anything, you form your own opinions, and you have there's nothing to counter your own beliefs. And so, yeah, you really believe it, and you can also be so far removed from it. It wasn't until Twitter and really being, and this is what's so weird about people going, I get my information from real sources. You get yours from the internet. I'm like, yeah, but the internet, if you know where to go, gives you all the information, not just like your friends and the people you talk to are usually, even if you think that they give you a different point of view, are usually still your friends, and they still give you a neutered, singular vision of this. So yeah, when you're around, in my case, men who don't know how to treat women either, and they were taught by men who didn't know how to treat women and didn't know anything about women issues, it just gets passed down and passed down and passed down generation to generation, and you never break out of that. And so that's what happens with white people. They're the majority in this country. Most of them, don't interact with black people. and their information only comes from other white people who don't interact with black people and don't know anything about this. And when you add in the fact that our education system has literally been trying to whitewash history and take out anything that shows the horribleness that went into this country, they don't know anything.
That's true.
They just don't know anything. Like, you know, you'll have people go in here and calling people terrorists. And like I was seeing the other day, somebody was talking about how it should be okay and you should be charged for a felony for protesting if that protest destroys property. I'm like, you do realize that the protest that kicked off the revolution for America by the founding fathers was literally a protest that destroyed property, right? You do realize that.
Hello.
They were terrorists. Those terrorists are why you have America.
It doesn't count when it's them, though.
Right. But there's that disconnect there. It's just like there's a disconnect between black men who understand the nuances of racism and everything like that, but then when it comes to sexism, we are fucking clueless. Like it's the same dynamic there. And I think that's how I don't know how you break people out. Like I don't know how you fix that. Like, you know, because when you do get black men who finally, and I think you're starting to get that, you're getting more and more black men who stand up against their fellow black men who say these things and who understand gender issues and things like that. But it's a long learning process, and we're outnumbered, you know, we just are, you know, and then some people go, and then there's the people who go and do it, but they're doing it just to not be yelled at. So you get things like, you know, it's like the white people who go, oh, I'm a white ally. I'm an ally. I know everything. And I'm like, well, no, you don't. You just need to shut the fuck up and listen. But no, I'm on your side. And you're like, oh, you haven't learned anything. Same thing happened with black feminists, you know, black male feminists. You know, I'm a feminist. Really? So you are? But just the other day you were talking about you didn't. Oh, okay. Oh, you're calling yourself a black male feminist just so you don't get yelled at and because you see the trend. You don't want to go against the tide, so you're with the tide, but you ain't trying to really understand the work or anything like that in there that involves in that. So you just want to call it, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know how you fix that. That'd be horizontal. I think it's just a constant struggle and a constant work, and I think that's what makes me understand how white people are the way they are. Because hey, I'm a man. I understand how men are when it comes to women's issues. Just fucking clueless. If it doesn't affect us. You have to be, when it comes to understanding your own privilege, you have to be willing to first accept that you have privilege.
Yeah.
And yeah.
My life was hard too.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what comes down to it, right? It's like you're required to see yourself, you know, outside. Like if you have, it's like having two domesticated cats, and one cat can be an outside cat, but one other cat is stuck in the house. And the domesticated goes, well, I'm domesticated too, and you know, I have a hard life. It's like, yeah, but you have outside freedom and stuff like that. That's clearly different from that cat that's stuck in the house and can't go anywhere. You know, it's a little bit different there. Yeah, you're both technically, you know, domesticated cats, but one has a certain level of freedom and privilege that the other one doesn't have. And I think that's the problem. So everybody sees only their problems framed in their problems, and they don't realize how much worse it could be if they had less. Yeah. You know. So I mean,
they've been blocked.
Yeah, you know, it's like when I see these the white working class, and they're talking about how much they struggle, and then you look at them and I'm like, wait, so you're living in this. You're living in the suburbs and you have a 2-story single family home with a 2-car garage, but you're talking about how much you're struggling compared to, and as you don't have privilege compared to, you know, people living in the inner cities who are working and barely making $8 an hour and are living month to month trying to pay their rent in an apartment complex. It's like you have a level of privilege and opportunity. Yeah, you might struggle. Like I got bills, I got credit card bills, but like my credit card bills, I'm able to pay with my salary and with what I have. And yeah, I have struggles here and there, but they're nowhere compared to someone who makes less. Like so many people don't own. They have blinders on. They see themselves and only themselves. You know. Yeah, humans are selfish. We're selfish as fuck.
Yeah.
So, it's sad. Like I said, it takes effort. I mean, I think that's why you see, Marissa and Leslie, they get so much pushback they got so much pushback, and they're still getting pushback. But right when they announced safety pin box, they got so much pushback. I think you get that pushback because wait, you're not going to just let white people label themselves as allies and be done with it, right? Slap a safety pin on your shirt and you're an ally. There, you're done. No, what they were doing was you're like, no, you need to put some skin in the game. You actually need to do some work before you can call yourself an ally and call yourself actually doing something, you know? Mm-hmm. And look, we're lazy as fuck. We don't want to do work.
Path of least resistance.
Right. Nobody wants to do any work. And so when you're starting to ask people to do work, all of a sudden it's like, whoa. Slow the fuck down there. Like I didn't sign up for all this, you know? I just wanted to call myself a feminist or call myself an ally and call it end of the day. So, yeah. So you gotta put some skin in the game. You actually gotta do some work there, guys. So, real quick, I'm not even gonna go into this, but it kind of tied in what you were saying before we were talking about yet another survey done that basically says that fear of diversity made people more likely to vote for Trump.
One day you will learn to listen to people of color when we tell you shit.
Yep. Some. Yeah. People are, if they're scared of diversity, white people are scared of diversity. So, just so you know. Yeah. All right.
The rest of us knew.
Oh no. Oh yeah. No. Black people of color knew, but I'm just saying for the white people out there, the 53% of white women, you know.
Sorry.
So, speaking of white women who going through some rough time right now, Taco Lauren out here is kind of mad because the Blaze got rid of her for being pro-choice. Let's see what's going on here.
In doing research about you, it's hard to find other times in which you came out in such a clear way about, in your words, being pro-choice, pro-abortion.
But I want to stop you there, because I believe you can be anti-abortion and pro-choice, and that's where I sit. Personally, I would never have an abortion. Personally, I would never encourage anyone else to have an abortion. In fact, I've counseled friends against it. I don't believe in abortion. However, as someone that views limited government, I do believe that during the first trimester, that option should be there for women, and I stand behind that. Now, after the first trimester, that becomes a little bit more difficult for me, and I do believe that the government has a role when the baby is viable on its own. But during that first trimester, I think we need to approach these issues with the utmost compassion for young women that are going through an experience that luckily I've never had to go through.
So that's Tony Lauren here, because the Blaze has basically let her go. She no longer has a job. What I found interesting about this, I think this is, what is this? This is an ABC News exclusive interview. As they're interviewing her, in the background to her back, over her back right shoulder, is a "Make America Great Again" hat.
I'm looking at that image right now.
So she's getting mad because she's really mad because Glenn Beck basically fired her from her job, and so we have another little clip.
If you could talk to Glenn Beck or to the folk at the Blaze, what would you say to him?
To my former employer, I would just say, let me go. Let me move on. I'm deeply hurt by what has happened. I'm disappointed in what has happened. But if this is the way that it is, let's just part ways cleanly. I just want to work and have the freedom to put my voice out there, and I want to interact with my fans and my followers. That's all I want out of this.
I'm struck by every time we go there, you get emotional.
It's my job. This is my life. This is my life. Without that, I feel lost. When your outlet is taken away from you, when your catharsis is stripped from you, and you don't understand why, and you're so disappointed and you're so blindsided by it, it hurts.
Fuck you, bitch.
You know what makes this worse? Because I typed her name into Google. Why this bitch got my birthday?
Oh no.
God damn it.
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh my God, yeah. No. Why you gotta be born on my birthday, you dumb cow?
You know what I love about this? Hearing her whine and complain. Oh my God, my outlet was taken away. This goes back to what I said about when it first came out and why I didn't like her being on The Daily Show. And I was like, for all that she talks about, pulling your... this is what people always do. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Do your own. I did my... And remember when it was Charlamagne. It wasn't even really The Daily Show. When Charlamagne came out and said, you got to give her credit because at least she built her own. Why don't black women do it? And I'm like, well, first of all, black women are doing it. But I had to point out, I was like, Tommy Lauren, I'll finally say her fucking name right. Tommy Lauren did not build her own. She has been manufactured and had everybody else do the work for her, and all she did was sit down in front of a camera and speak. She's never had to build her own. And she's never had to build her own. Right now, she's begging for Glenn Beck to let her go officially so she can go out there. Because you know what it would be if it was black people? We just say, fuck it, we quit, and we build her own ourselves. Mm-hmm. All you need is a camera and sit down in front of a YouTube channel. You can go right back to having your following base. You can go right back to having your voice. But she can't do it without a team around her because she's never built her own. She has been a manufactured, made product. Glenn Beck made her.
And okay, when I say she's a baby, please don't get upset with me. I'm not talking about how everybody's talking Ryan Lochte.
Right.
That I'm saying she's young.
Right.
She has no experience with life. Why anyone thought she could be the voice of experience anywhere is beyond me, except for the fact that she's blonde. Mm-hmm. I guess people find her pretty. She looks basic to me, but hey.
No shade there. Yeah.
She is clearly not. She's clearly not well versed. She's based on old videos that you see of her floating around before she joined the Beck alt-right Make America Great Again train. She caters to what will put money in her pockets, which means her morality and her integrity are questionable at best. And that's me being generous. So, go away.
No, here's the thing. I think she will. Because, what else can she do? Unless somebody else comes out, and no, you're right. Unless somebody comes and bails her out and builds her a platform, she's going to go away because, again, this woman has always had things given to her. Like you said, she's young and she's always had people give it to her. So she's never had to struggle. She's never had to build her own. She's not going to be able to do it. Basically. And this is where, again, I go back to that whole, I could have made it a great moment of white privilege, but I think we have a really great moment of white privilege today. It's totally amazing. For the first time ever, in a long time, I said those show notes early, so the doctor knows what the great moment of white privilege is today, and it's a doozy. But this is a definition of white privilege. She had everything handed to her, and on that platform, she would then talk down to black people and tell us what we need to do to get on her level, but we've been doing that. We don't get the opportunity she gets. She literally has everything handed to her. And then when it's taken away, when Glenn Beck goes, fuck it, I'm done with you. Glenn Beck, if you think about it, Glenn Beck used this woman. Because here's the thing, her positions on abortion aren't new. People have been pulling this stuff out and told you that when she first started, when she was on another show, that she had these like I think when she was in college, she had these more, I don't want to say liberal views, but more moderate views. Mm-hmm. She became hard right when she became, when Glenn Beck picked her up for The Blaze. Glenn Beck used Taco Lauren as cover for his own right-wing bullshit to put her out there and then basically go, well, I'm not as racist as you guys think I am. Can you remember that? The same time that Tommy Lauren was out there, Glenn Beck was also going to, like, I owe President Obama an apology. He's taught me so much. And Glenn Beck was doing this about face where people were going, huh, that's weird. This is Glenn Beck. Now that Trump's there, Glenn Beck needs to go back to being the right-wing talking head he is, and in the right-wing place he is. So now he's going to, put somebody out there to, he don't need her no more. She's not talented. This is why I got so mad at Charlemagne trying to hold this woman up, because so many black men do this. We hold up these mediocre white women as a way to beat black women over the head. This woman is not talented. She didn't build her own. You can tell that now by her literally begging Glenn Beck to let her go so somebody else can pick up her contract so they can build it for her, because she can't do it herself. If somehow I had gotten this, and let's say NBC had picked me up and then they fired me, I'd just go out, all right, fuck it. I built my own before you. I'll build my own again. Fuck it. I don't need you.
Back to the drawing board.
Right. I've done it before. I'll take my following. I'll take my followers. I'll take my list. Here's the thing. How many followers is she going to keep because she lost, because she came out as pro-choice, though? Because she didn't have, because she was, like, it's such bullshit. Like, I love seeing it. I love, like, her tears and her upset. I love it all. I love it all because she's been antagonizing black people for years. And all of a sudden now, she's the one out in the street and got a job and getting paid. And is now emotional because it's my job, it's my voice, and what am I going to do now? You can go out and do what black people have always done and pull yourself up by your bootstrap, bitch. You can do it. You told us, we can do it. You go do it yourself. Like, fuck her, yo. I'm like, it's just, it's so infuriating that she even got people, she's even getting sympathy from people right now off of this. It's like, all the shit you've done, I thought you were self-made. I thought you could do it yourself. Well, then go out and do it yourself. Oh, that's right, you can't. Because like so many not rich, but just so many white people, privileged white people,
white
if you
women
didn't have
specifically.
you can't do it without somebody else holding you up. Like, do you know how many, like, seeing her go down while also seeing all these other black women come up with their own stuff? It's amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Perfect timing. Love it. Love it. Build your own. You have the audience. You have the fans.
Like you said, you're always telling us to do it. Let's see you do it.
Right.
If it's that easy, you can do it.
Right.
You wouldn't be circling like, oh, they did me so wrong, like you a jilted bride or something. Like, okay, this didn't work out. Y'all can catch me here. Mm-hmm. That should, if she's everything she swears she is, that's the tour she should be doing right now.
Like I said, it's just funny to me. Like, I think that she's worried that if she doesn't get released, because it's probably contractual that she can't do it right now. But I'd just be sitting back going, all right, you suspended me, all right. When it finally let me go, or I resign and quit, I'm gonna go and build my own, and I don't need you because here, it's just. Again, as somebody who's trying to build up more an independent media outlet, I find it so intriguing to watch this woman who, if she was to do that, if she was to go off and do it on her own, she would still be more successful than most other people because she does have the backing already. And she still has her white privilege has already given her a leg up. She's so incompetent, she doesn't even see that.
Yeah.
If I had a quarter of what Tommy Lauren has, shit. Bro, we wouldn't be worried about shit right now. With a quarter of what she had. She's panicking because she doesn't know what she's gonna do next. I would be sitting there cheesing like, oh well, I'm just sitting here chilling until Glenn Beck decides he's gonna do what he's gonna do with me. But if he don't do something soon, I'm gonna just quit and I'm gonna do my own shit. She can't. You know what it might be too is she might have signed a terrible contract. And she can't do anything. Which might really be what it is. But then it goes back to the thing, you should have just built your own. You're telling us to do it. Maybe you should have done that.
Or negotiated a better contract.
Yep. Maybe you should have done that. It's funny. It's just funny to me to see what what brings down these right wing people. Like after years of decades of being a racist dickhole, Bill O'Reilly might finally be gone because he apparently sexually harassed and assaulted white women.
All the bigotry didn't matter.
Yeah, nope, didn't matter. Didn't matter. But now.
Oh, but let's keep it real. I'm shocked this matters because we got a president that did the same thing and they still elected his ass. Just saying.
Right. And just to be real, Bill O'Reilly's still not gone yet. And apparently his numbers are up. Just to let you know what the fan base over at Fox News is. His numbers are up, even with all the stuff.
But I don't think those advertisers are coming back.
Oh no, the advertisers not coming back, but his numbers are up. It's basically gonna be the same thing that happened with Glenn Beck. It's gonna happen because Glenn Beck was the same way. The real reason why he left because at some point people started going after his advertisers, and it got all the way down to him. I'll never forget the Survival Seeds commercial.
Oh my God! I thought I was imagining things when I used to see those. I'm like,
no. He got. Let me see if I can find it. I gotta see that. I'm gonna skip over some stuff in the notes. Let me see. Survival.
Wasn't he the ad man for those Survival Seeds?
No, I don't think he was.
No, he was the gold person.
He was the gold. Oh man, let me see if I can find Survival Seed commercial. Like when I tell you guys this thing was amazing. Oh man, I don't even see the commercial on YouTube right now. Like it was they were trying to basically sell you Survival Seed. It was around the same time as like that show about building up bomb shelters. So yeah, man, I got to see if I can find it. Maybe I'll play it next week. But that Survival Seeds commercial was just truly amazing, guys. It was just like our currency isn't backed by gold. In the future though, seeds might have more currency, might be worth more than gold, and you got to just buy Survival Seeds. It was
so bad.
It was so bad. But that was the number one commercial. And because he had so few advertisers, it would play every commercial break. So good. All right, we're gonna move over some other things. We'll do. Let's finally get into this great moments in white privilege because I read this article for great moments in white privilege and it was so good. But anyway, let's play the music first. I had to play it a little extra longer today because just like this is all right. So if Tommy Lauren didn't make Great Moments in White Privilege, this has to be good. There's an article basically saying in the Telegraph in UK, and it's basically talking about travelers who backpackers begging for money should be ashamed of themselves. Take a walk down the road in Bangkok and you'll see people lining the streets asking for money. Only they're not homeless locals struggling to feed their families. They're gap-year backpackers who spend their week's budgets on too many drinks and hostel bars. There's been a recent rise in beg packers. That's backpackers who are begging across some of the poorest countries in the world. Their attempts to fund their trips via begging, busking, and occasionally selling their holiday photos have been snapped and shared on social media by more socially aware travelers and disgusted locals. Most of their backpackers have been spotted in Southeast Asia along well-trodden travelers' trails in Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and across Malaysia. One woman from Singapore was shocked to see two white couples selling postcards and playing music for money. We find it extremely strange to ask other people for money to help you travel, he told the Observer in France. Selling drinks in the street or begging isn't considered respectable. People who do so really are really in need. They beg in order to buy food, pay for their children's school fees, or pay off debts, but not in order to do something seen as a luxury. So, in case people don't understand what's going on here, you have white people going to like Thailand and in Bangkok and in Vietnam and stuff like that, and they're backpacking across the country and stuff like that. They're traveling, and let's say they go to one of the cities, and they might spend all their week's budget on bars or on girls or something like that, right? And so they line the street up, and they beg for money to keep traveling. Not to get home, not to say they're broke, but to keep traveling. They have a picture of a guy on Twitter, and it's him. And he's basically on one knee, and he has a violin. He doesn't even look dirty. He's not even like he got a violin. He got a mini amp beside him. Let me see if I can send you this picture. Oh no, it's in the article I sent you. Yeah, it's on a violin on one knee. Got a little mini amp. It's not even like it's literally an electric violin. By the way, guys. Let's see. You have this foreign couple who are literally selling their postcards while they're traveling and begging for money. People who fail to recognize this are, let me see. Backpackers cannot and should not ever feel entitled to people's spare change when they are busking next to someone who has not even eaten a proper meal in days. People who fail to recognize this are the epitome of white privilege. They think that selling postcards for a few pounds is hilarious and a great traveling story when they're potentially taking away customers from a local who needs those pounds more than they can ever. A friend currently traveling in Southeast Asia tells me people choose to fritter away money on drinking and expensive meals and activities, then wonder why they run out. Gap year travelers can spend a local's monthly wage in a day. They have no right to complain and beg. It's disgusting and out of touch. If they're really out of money, I'm sure they can sell their iPads. There are numerous alternatives for backpackers who are running out of money, running out of cash from working in hostels or taking part in programs where they can work in exchange for free accommodations. There's really no need for them to sit next to in their Birkenstocks and yoga pants with cardboard placards reading, "I'm traveling across Asia without money. Please support my trip." An actual sign one man has been photographed with. In recent years, there has been a rising people crowdfunding their travels. It's no longer shocking for a couple to ask for a donation for their 5-star honeymoon instead of wedding presents, or for people to take Kickstarter or ask for others to help to fund a volunteering scheme abroad. It's modern day equivalent of people pleading with your friends to sign your sponsorship form at school when it's getting out of hand. Backpackers are so convinced they're giving back or living a worthy cultural experience, they lose sight of what they're really doing, asking people to give their holiday a cash injection. It's bad enough when tourists go on slum tours in underdeveloped countries and take photos of beggars, but when they join them so they can pay for whitewater rafting, it's taking their entitlement a step too far.
I don't think you know how infuriating hearing this is. Or maybe you do.
Oh, I know.
Look, we all crack jokes on some of these on some of these GoFundMe's we see of folks asking to support their wedding, and then their stories like, "Oh, you ain't a shit person. I'm not going to support you getting married to someone you about to die." We all tell the jokes, and especially in light of this whole PayPal Me debacle that's been going on social media this week, seeing stuff like this just really pisses me off.
Like, yeah. Yeah, because you know what, this is even worse than all of that. Because having as somebody we see the Kickstarter for somebody, help me pay for my wedding ring. Like, get the fuck out of here, But you're literally going to, and again, you're not doing this you're not like going to London or going to the United States. You're going to literally some of the poorest countries.
Mm-hmm. It's just gross wherever you do it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah. It's gross wherever you're doing it, but there's a reason why they're not doing it. Like, say, in the United States or in London, that you're going to some of the poorest countries because you're trying to, again, white privilege. You're trying to do that. You live that authentic experience, and you want to have the stories to tell your friends when you come back. Yeah, I backpacked across, and I had to beg with the beggars, and it was really cool. Now you're going back to your 6-figure job.
Poverty tourism, and that's what makes it gross. You're going to come back. Most of these people are going to come back and not have to struggle. And I can't even get the words out. You wonder why people don't. You wonder. You wonder why you go to foreign countries and people don't like our asses. I'm just going to assume these are Americans. Let's be honest. You wonder why people don't like our asses. It's because of bullshit like this. You don't know how to act like you got any home training. Why would you go somewhere and potentially get stranded? That is the epitome of a privilege. Because like you said, at the end of the day, you can get your ass home. You can get home. You can afford this, but you'd rather have someone else pay for it.
Yeah. They're out there still. So you're out there, you run out of money, and you're now selling your photos of your it's just even the level of privilege in how they're begging. Like I said, the one guy is there begging for money. He has a mini amp hooked up to his electric violin.
Like if you really need money, go pawn it.
Like the person said, I bet you they're not selling their iPad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying this to somebody, and again, the reason why they do this in these countries is because it is so cheap to go. Like, at one point, when I was training really hard, I was going to try to take a month off and go train in Thailand. Mm-hmm. And it's super cheap in Thailand. Like, it was something like $600 can basically get me to stay for, 2 weeks at a hotel. Like, it was, the most expensive thing on me going to Thailand for a month was going to be the flights.
Wow.
Like, it is super cheap over there when compared to, the money I'm bringing in. So that's why these people do it. And so they don't budget their money. They go out here, they think it's fun just to I'll go on super cheap and see how much I can do. And I'll go out and see how far I can get by just begging them money. And then when because you know what the thing about it is, if they really wanted to, they could just whip out their credit card and go home.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's poverty tourism. It's completely disgusting, and like you said, they should be ashamed of themselves. And it's just I read this. I was as disgusted as you when I read it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is wow. I was like, immediately knew this is this week's Women's White Privilege, because holy shit, how privileged do you have to fucking be to do some shit like this? Yeah, got nothing else. Got nothing.
The worst.
Yeah. So. All right, let's get ready to get out of here. Before we do that, though, as always, we're gonna finish with our Black women shout out. I have 2 today. Let's go in here, pull up my emails. So right here. The first one is, hold on, I had it and I just closed it. Hold on. Sorry, guys. My computer's on 10%, so I'm trying to make sure I can get this done.
Plug it in. What are you doing?
Huh?
Dude, plug it in. What are you doing?
I forgot the plug. I don't feel like getting up and going into the plug. We can do this. We can make this work. We're going to make it work, Got 10%. We're at the end of the show. We're going to make this happen. I'm going to pull the emails. As soon as the damn emails come up, we're going to pull this up. We're going to make it work. So there we go.
Seriously, sir.
Hey, listen. I like to live life on the edge a little bit here. I feel like that's, that's my way of doing. Now it's down to 4%. We're not gonna make it.
What are you doing?
You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. But
Go get your plug.
You're not gonna make it. But we're gonna do fine. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this. Let's see here. All right, the first one we have from Valerie, and it is, and I've seen this before. This is her business is Linfield Historical Consulting. Helps people with a genealogy and other history related projects. I don't think we didn't do this before. I don't think. Let me double check this and make sure. I don't think I did this one. So check them out. I've seen a lot of people doing this. They've done Ancestry.com. and things like that. So check them out again. Information will be in the show notes so that you can read up on their website. Let me pull it up again because it was dying, and so I had to change. I tried to make it, and it didn't work. So, but yeah, I had to double check. I didn't think we had done this before, but then it sounded familiar. No, we didn't do it. So Linfield Historical Consulting. Are you interested in completing your family tree, writing a piece of historical fiction, or uncovering the history of some of your family's real estate? Save your valuable time by hiring Linfield to do the traveling research and writing for your project. You can contact them and find out more information. We have some information on here. What is historical consulting? Linfield Historical Consulting distinguishes itself by focusing on storytelling. Linfield wants our clients to know that good historical interpretations is more. A good historical interpretation is more important than recitation of dates, names, and events. So, yep, they have a blog too, so you can do that. And yeah, I've been seeing a lot more people trying to find out more of the history. I know when I was growing up, my mom, and it's so much easier now, but back in the day, you had to literally go to these things called libraries, and you had to go dig the information up there and halls of records and things like that. You don't. It's not as hard anymore with the internet, thankfully. But my mom used to do that and try to find out more information about her background and stuff like that. So the next one we have here is we have Zania. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. And she is a executive chef. She has a food and beverage company. They provide meals and meal prepping services, private chef sessions, and cater small events. They are primarily located in the Chicagoland area, but will travel for particular services. And she wanted to promote her business, and we do have the website for them. zwineandfood.com. And I'm gonna check their website out real quick because I had to close my laptop because things. Not gonna talk about that. We have restaurant reviews, wine tastings, recipes, and a little bit of her life. So definitely check this out. Oh, she has a picture of her with everybody's favorite auntie, Maxine Waters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And these stuff look, and these dishes look delicious and really good. So definitely go and support them. Again, information will be in the show notes. Check them out. And we had one more in here I wanted to do. Let me see. Here. No, this is a companion tale. We did that last week. Hold on. Let me. Wait, actually, know what? I know where it's at. It's in my note app. Let me just pull that one up there. I'm all over the place here. RayoandHoney.com. They have a with good positive intentions. They have pennants handcrafted in Brooklyn with felt texture text combining urban pop culture and modern design. And it's Rayo and Honey, RAYO and Honey.com. And I'm gonna pull that open because I just had it open on the site. I don't know what happened. It's like my computer literally had like it had like 40% left, and all of a sudden it said, "Nah, fuck that. You don't have 40% anymore. You have 10." I was like, "All right, I can make it a 10." And then I looked at it again and was like, "Yeah, we're gonna make it 2%." I'm like, "Oh, okay, we're not gonna make it then. Okay, fine." So, yeah, no, they have some nice little pennants that you can put up. They have create and resist. Sometimes a king is a woman. Nevertheless, she persisted. Black boy joy. Joy is an act of resistance. They have these nice little pennants you can hang up. They look really nice, handcrafted. And yeah, so check them out. We will have all of these on the show notes. Talking about this, I just talked to LaToya. We are definitely having the show. We are definitely sticking with the name Secret Sauce. And she's already done some interviews for some of the women. And so that will be coming out hopefully this week. I asked her, I know she had done some interviews, and so I asked her who she interviewed, and then she gave me like a list of she has like 5 interviews already lined up to do. So the women are definitely going to be contacted. We'll get more information on there. You get more information about the businesses through that because, again, this has grown way more than I thought it would grow. I thought we'd get like 1 or 2 here and there. I am literally a month behind in my emails because of this. So, that's a good problem. Oh, it's a good problem to have. Like, I actually had to stop promoting it on Twitter because I was getting too many I could respond to at the time. So, but if you hear the show and you went in there, bwbusiness@mtrnetwork.net, we will definitely be promoting your business and putting it out there. And again, LaToya will definitely be reaching out to all the ladies out there to get more information because I feel like it's better to get all you all to promote your own businesses. And that's what her show is basically going to be about, to get out there talking about being a black woman business owner and getting that stuff out there. And it's her show, and I'm just, again, I'm not forcing anybody to do this. I'm not running a podcast sweatshop over here. I'm just giving people an opportunity to do what they want to do. And hopefully we'll do some good. So hopefully that show will come out this week, and you guys can hear more about these wonderful ladies and their businesses. And again, if you already emailed me and I haven't gotten back to you yet, don't worry, we will. We're just really, really behind. Again, I was not expecting to get this many emails. So, but we'll be getting more information out there and be talking about you guys out there. So I'm seeing people loving the Black Proverbs stuff. Because I'm always seeing, like, I know Rod and Karen got mugs. I think Petty wants to get the bruh mug, but it was or the hoodie, and it was out of stock. But I think it's in stock now, so she's gonna get that. So definitely check them out. Do you have anybody for your Black Woman shout out you want to do?
I do. It's a friend of mine. Her name's Gail O'Bannon, and I met her in a Facebook group. God, I feel so old saying this. About six years ago. And a group of Black women photographers, and she started this network of women, and we all got together in Dallas and did this weekend-long workshop for photographers. And she works for the Dallas Mavericks, and that was the year they won the trophy, so we got to take photos with their official team photographer and hold that big old heavy trophy, and it is heavy. But all that is to say, she's created this network of Black women photographers called My Sisters and Me. It's at mysistersandme.net. And from their own website, it says, it's a group of creative photographers. We're an active social networking group whose talents range from beginners to professionals. We recognize the need for a formal networking group for women of color who are often, this is my little ad lib, often underrepresented at a lot of these national photography conferences. And so they're willing to help promote, educate, support, and respect each other's creative freedom of expression. And they do a meetup like every other year. They just finished the most recent meetup in Dallas this year, a couple of weeks ago. So you can check them out. A lot of very positive, encouraging Black women in that group. I love them to death, even though I haven't picked up my camera seriously in a couple of years. I still always reach out to them, and that networking and that support group that they provide is so powerful and so helpful for people who are just trying to either get started or figure out ways to rebrand and re-network. So again, it's mysistersandme.net.
Awesome. So I will definitely make sure to put that in the show notes as well. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Oh, I'm sorry. They also have a Facebook page, so if that's more your speed.
Well, there you guys have it. Black Woman Shout Out again. BW Business at mtrnetwork.net, and we'll go from there. So, Doctor, thank you very much for joining us on this show. It's been a fun show. Minus the Jeffrey Lord debacle.
I was a little nervous. I'm like, I don't know if he want me on his show. I'm not that interesting, but thank you for having me.
You're saying this like people don't hear you every week. Well, not for the last few weeks because it's been on break. Like every week, you talk longer than Deepam. You and Shannon talk longer and do better. I feel like better recaps than Deepam and I do in ours. Cause we just come in and we're like, yo, this show was awesome. This show was awesome. Yeah, we're all over the place. You guys are very like structured. You guys actually go through the entire episode. You guys have a legit conversation. Your episodes come to like an hour and 10 minutes each time. Like, come on. Like, what are you talking about? You have the Doctor Who show. Now you're on Docu-Drunks, ma'am. I'm not gonna allow you to downplay your interest. You being interesting on this show. I'm not gonna allow that to stand. I'm sorry. Cannot go with that.
Fair enough.
That's like Deepam. That was like, you know what that was like? That was like when Deepam, for like, after we had been doing Agent of the Shield in the Character Corner for like, a year and a half going, I'm just kind of like I'm just partly here, part-time. I'm like, dude, we literally talk for hours a week. Like on the show. Like every week we go 2 to 3 hours a week on the show. You are more than just I'm just here on the side, doing some stuff for the MTR network a little bit on the side. And, I'm not really anybody over here. I'm like, dude, you have an entire show. What are we talking about here? Right? What are we talking about here? But no, thank you very much for joining me on this episode. It's been a fun episode. I've basically been trying to bring in some of the voice. I was like, yo, now that we really have like people who are, you guys are stuck with me being contributors. So I can start bringing you guys on the insanity check so everybody can hear you guys. I know we all talk and everybody hears us talk. Nobody ever really hears our conversation or talk when we're like among ourselves. I'm like, yeah, it's nice to get other people's voices out there other than my own. So thank you very much for joining me on this. Where can people find you other than, all the shows you're doing on the MTR network?
I'm on Twitter. The Doctor's in 2015. I sometimes take not deliberate breaks, but here lately I've been taking Andromeda breaks. I've been playing that game like it's a second job.
No one can fault you for that.
The Doctor is in 2015, and he'll put that in the show notes. So
yeah,
sometimes I'm random, sometimes I'm retweeting, and then sometimes I'm just watching. I'm a lurker by nature, so
he'll be lurking.
I know that.
Everyone else, you guys know, Insanity Check on iTunes. Again, find us, leave us 5-star reviews. Super Tuesday recap, Character Corner. This weekend is going to be a Character Corner on. We're doing Green Lantern Part 2. So come out and find us and prepare for that. Remember, if we get 200 subscribers, let me pause real quick. Again, if we get 200 subscribers on the MTR Premium Network, we'll bring back live shows. Because I'll be able to officially pay for having Crowdcast, and so I want something that's robust that's gonna last, and that means paying for something. So as soon as we get 200 subscribers on the MTR Premium Network, paid subscribers who are there, not just you paid and you quit, and gotta be paid. Because we're over 200 if you do it that way, but you got to be a paid current subscriber. We will come back. I will bring back live shows, so it'll be. I'll try to do if I can, every Insanity Check will be live. Some of the Super Tuesday recaps, because sometimes we're just tired and we don't want to be on camera, but I'll try to bring back some of those live. Maybe some character corners. Then for premium members, I'll be able to also pay for more bandwidth, so I'll try to get some of the raw videos. I'll edit them a little bit, but some of the videos we have so many Comic-Con videos that I have not edited and put up. I don't think I put any of the Expanse ones up. I have plenty of this stuff out there. So if you guys if we get over 200 subscribers, I'll start putting out more and more of those videos because we'll be able to actually pay for that stuff. And that's where the money goes for. Money goes for basically building the network up and building us a little network here. So the more and more you do that, and stay tuned. I'm working with Jamie. We're working on getting some designs together for merchandise and shirts and things like that, and coffee mugs. So stay tuned for coming soon. Blame D-Palm and Blame Chris shirts will be coming. They're coming. Maybe Make Daxam Great Again shirt. I don't know. I know you are not a fan of that, but Shannon
Backing up. The Blame Chris and D-Palm, is it like Blame Chris on the front and then on the back it says Blame D-Palm, or are these two different shows?
We could do it that way. We can make a shirt like that. But I was thinking about, because we'll find out who's really, really to blame. A separate shirt for each. and see and just see who's really to blame for the things that go on the network, and go from there. May the odds forever be in your favor, and go from there. We'll see. So we got that, and I'm working on I have a new theme I'm looking at. It's gonna be way more responsive for the site, so it looks really, really clean, and we're working on trying to get that redesigned so we can get that in there hopefully sometime next month. So just stay tuned. We got a lot of cool things coming. And again, remember, June 17th is the date we're looking at, hopefully, to have our live podcast show in DC during AwesomeCon. So to be prepared, we'll let you guys know about tickets and where it's going to be at and how much you're going to be at and stuff like that as we get more information. But just block the date off now so you're prepared, because it's going to be fun. So again, folks, thank you guys very much for listening. And until next time, we are out of here. Peace.